Isaiah, how did you get all wet?
I was playing in the rain.
Son, you're in the house. It's not raining inside. Or is it?
Yeah, it's in the kitchen.
What?
Oh, no, the roof has a leak.
Leak? That's a waterfall.
We need that fixed now.
Rexy's Silent Brewery Repair can fix it.
What, son?
Any job, anywhere. Bresky can do it all.
Call Bresky right now and get that roof fixed. And while you're at it, have him fix the gutters.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5? That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit midlandfoundation.org and make a gift to our community investment fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at midlandfoundation.org.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
Bel Air Brown, Dragon's Milk, Mad Hatter, Purple Gang, and Huma Loopalicious. These are names that let the imagination run wild and let the taste buds take a stroll. Welcome to the craft beer craze in Michigan. Bolstered by the Great Lakes and nurtured by the glacier-rich soil, here awaits a brewer's paradise. With fresh hops growing tall in the Old Mission Peninsula and fresh barley fields sweeping the mitten, Michigan ranks 5th in the nation in the number of breweries, microbreweries, and brew pubs. From Good Harbor Golden to Whitefish Bay Wheat, from Motown Lager all the way to Park Bench Porter, Michigan is serving up a frosty glass of perfection. Whether you want to take in a game with a two-hearted ale or just sit on a front porch sipping a Steelhead Red, let's tap into life at its fullest and treat ourselves to a taste that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at michigan.org.
Why are interscholastic sports called the last classroom of the day? Because they teach students important life lessons like teamwork, accountability, and perseverance. School sports are so much more than a game. They're about developing the whole person. That's why they're an essential part of every student's education.
Encourage your student to participate in the last classroom of the day. Interscholastic sports in Michigan. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Blazy Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland. Michigan sports aren't just a game, they're a way of life. And now we've got a show dedicated to die-hard sports fans like you. Hosted by a guy who's borderline obsessed with the wins and losses of all your favorite teams.
He's crazy.
Every weekday morning from 9 to noon, Ben Bosscher brings you the talk that matters. The teams, the stories, and the players you care about most. This is the Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
Remember that.
Hello. Good morning, everyone. Hope everyone had a fantastic Labor Day weekend. We're rocking and rolling here on a Tuesday. Enjoy the day off yesterday. Maybe you got to watch some football, play some golf. Got to do both of those things thanks to our friends over at Sandy Ridge. Played a nice 18 yesterday. That's how I spent Labor Day. Kyle, you were there. Nice round. A little PR for your guy over here. Nothing to brag about.
Not bad.
Don't need to say the number, but you know.
Hey, it's all right. A PR is a PR.
PR is a PR, especially considering how the last two holes went over at Sandy Ridge.
It's a little dark out, you know?
It wasn't necessarily the darkness. It was.
Yeah, but you could have just told everyone it was the darkness.
Yeah, it was getting dark.
There you go.
It was getting dark. Good Labor Day weekend over here on behalf of 100.9 The Mitt and the Ben Bosscher Show. Hope you can say the same thing about your weekend. ladies and gents, it's football season now. I was just a few minutes ago before we went live thinking, my God, we get to like preview Lions football, real Lions football the rest of the week. So we'll get to that later on in the week. But there's a few things I want to go over big picture NFL-wise heading into this week with Thursday Night Football, Eagles, Cowboys. There's a lot we got to get to before Thursday and before the NFL season begins. Big NFL show coming up. We'll have some Tigers thoughts for you yesterday too, because yesterday Tigers take on the Mets, series opener, game number 1. The Mets ended up using 7 pitchers. You could kind of tell in that game, Kyle, that the Mets and their manager, in a way, were like treating it like a playoff game. Nobody uses 7 pitchers in a series opener. It screws you over the rest of the series, but they're kind of fighting for their lives more so than the Tigers are. I felt like there was a little bit more urgency on behalf of the Mets compared to how the Tigers feel right now, which is like, yeah, we're probably going to just be one of the first-round buys. Maybe we're fighting for a number 1 seed, but we've got the division locked up. Playoffs aren't a sweat. Does any part of you worry, and we're not doing this as a topic right now, I just kind of 30 seconds, 1 minute. Does any part of you worry that they're not going to run into the October on one of the hottest streaks that in baseball like they did last season? I mean, what they did last year certainly wasn't repeatable in how hot they were coming into the postseason, but there's a lack of foot on the gas and a lack of urgency right now for the Tigers, rightfully so, because they got off to such a hot start. Is that going to affect your predictions going into the postseason because of there's probably going to be another team that's hotter going into the postseason because the Tigers have such a big lead in the AL Central?
Yeah, potentially. I think just the inconsistency of their starting rotation in general is going to make it difficult for them to get hot going into the postseason. And yeah, I mean, the team that goes into the postseason on a hot streak is typically the ones that do end up going on a run. So yeah, I think it will affect my prediction for that.
Well, that rotation is feeling worse and worse by the week. Each week that goes by, it feels like you lose a little bit of confidence in who these guys are outside of Tarek Skubal. Hey, we'll get to that here in a little bit. But, you know, I know a lot of people were off yesterday, in and out of the house, whether you're at the beach, on the boat, whatever you were doing. You didn't necessarily get a chance to take a big listen to what we opened yesterday's show with, which was essentially, hey, how far is this Bryce Underwood thing going to go? So I did want to get some big picture thoughts on everyone's takeaways from Michigan and Michigan State's games this weekend. I think there was a lot to learn from both of those games, but I think my number one takeaway with that was, my God, Bryce Underwood has checked every box you possibly could have asked for an 18-year-old who was making his college football debut. The 2-minute drill comes to mind, first of all, before the half. He goes 5 for 5, 60 yards, throws a touchdown. Bryce Underwood looked like a veteran, seasoned college football quarterback during those 2 minutes. Then right out of halftime, they're basically pinned inside their own end zone, has this perfect pass down the left side of the field, perfect amount of touch on it, right over the defenders. He's making these complex throws where you see a lot of these highly recruited players come in, Kyle, and it's, let's just throw the ball as hard as possible. Let's show off how fast I can zip this thing. That wasn't the case at all with Underwood. He pulled that out at times, and other times he was lofting, balls to the perfect spot. Even on some of like the balls over the middle of the field, receiver runs a hitch route or is just going on a little crosser, and he puts the ball in a perfect spot to where it's not even capable of being intercepted. 0 turnover-worthy plays. Chiles had 2 yesterday, by the way. Not to compare those guys quite yet, but it's the little stuff with this kid in Bryce Underwood that makes him look like a polished college football veteran, someone who, down the line is going to be viewed as one of these NFL prospects. Look, I know it's one game, and I know it's against New Mexico, but that was about as amazing as an opener as you could have asked for a freshman quarterback who happens to be a 5-star recruit guy you flipped $12 million. There's so much talk of it's one player. Is it going to be worth it now that there's this like quote unquote fake salary cap of $20 million per team? And I'm not an expert on the NIL stuff. Like I almost turn my eye to it sometimes because I just get so annoyed with it. It's overwhelming. I just want to talk about the football aspect of it. It looked like he was going to be worth every penny of it. And again, it's against New Mexico. You got to take it with a grain of salt. Much bigger test this weekend against Oklahoma. Game day's heading there. It's the only matchup where it's 2 ranked opponents this upcoming weekend. But man, how could you not get excited about Bryce Underwood if you're a Michigan fan based on what you saw this weekend? It was really fun. And for me personally, it was like, wow, now I have something to look forward to every Saturday. Like, it's no longer, for me, let's watch the Michigan game. It's what's going to happen with Bryce this week. That's the biggest storyline in college football to me right now with the position I'm in. I can't wait to watch this guy again.
Yeah, and I even think just for Michigan fans in general, like you could have had obviously all the hopes in the world for Bryce Underwood, but actually seeing it on the field confirms and kind of unlocks a little bit of a different thought and hopefulness for the entirety of the Michigan 2025 season. Like, I'm sure most Michigan fans were hopeful that Bryce Underwood was going to be one of the better freshmen we've seen in a long time and better than any quarterback option they had last year immediately, which both are for sure the case. But I think that actually seeing it on the field, seeing the display of kind of different ways he can attack the game from the quarterback position this early as an 18-year-old, I think is obviously insanely encouraging. And it unlocks a little bit of, okay, what can Michigan do down the line here? Like, we talked about this over-under 9.5 line for Michigan, and, like, you know, really they only have the 2 super tough games, but the way that they played last year, it's like you wouldn't be shocked if they were upset by 1 or 2 of these teams. And now you look at it, it's like, man, I kind of feel good about them against Oklahoma this week. And obviously, down the line, they've beaten Ohio State in the past. Like, what really could happen with this Michigan team this season? Could they really compete to win the Big Ten? That's what you kind of start to think about. You're almost looking down the road already after this Bryce Underwood Week 1 start. And
that's pretty hard to wrap your head around. Like, there's so many people out there that probably listen and say, hey, it's New Mexico. Like, you got to pump the brakes.
Of course.
It's a team
Which
that's going to finish worst in the Mountain West.
Way.
Sure, but, like, the stuff that I saw from Bryce that got me excited was stuff that just kind of translates. You know what I mean? Like, yes, it's going to be a much harder against an Ohio State defense because we saw that Ohio State defense ball out this weekend against Texas. But at the same time, it's like the throws on the run, the bullet passes, the precision, the touch. Like, it wasn't necessarily the opponent. If he would have ran all over them and ran for 50 yards and he was the best athlete on the field, then I'd say, okay, we got to see that against a tougher team. He didn't have any rushing attempts. I mean, the box score says he had 2, but it was 2 different sacks. He had -5 yards. Which, by the way, probably should have had more sacks. Like, a really hard guy to take down. So if he's going to avoid turning the ball over and he's going to avoid putting the ball in harm's way and fumbling the ball, like, man, like this guy passed every single test this weekend against New Mexico, and I can't wait for him to go up against this Oklahoma team. I think against Oklahoma this weekend, they unveil his legs a little bit more because I think they're going to need him.
Yeah, we talked about it, you and I, like when the Michigan game was going on. It seemed like there was several different times where, like you said, Underwood didn't have many rushing attempts. Could have easily had near 10 rushing attempts. Like the way he was rolling out, kind of letting go of the ball, kind of surveying his options until the last very second.
Yeah, could have picked up a 5 yards with his legs, but rather just kind of throws the outlet pass to the tight end.
Yeah, which, I mean, if that's the way that they want to work it, like, I mean, it worked out, you know, and it's kind of the fact that he has those options already and is showing that he is surveying those options until the last second and then getting rid of the ball before taking off. Just very polished stuff from an 18-year-old quarterback that sure doesn't look it.
The throws on the run were like somewhat reminiscent of, and this is going to be a kind of a weird comparison based on how people talk about him now, but remember like Caleb Williams highlights from college?
Yeah, especially Caleb
back
rolling
at Oklahoma.
Caleb rolling to his left was always the weirdest stuff ever. Like the throwing across his body stuff. Just you'd never really seen a guy throw that fluently in college like that, rolling the opposite way.
It was only Mahomes that you'd ever seen do it, and then you saw, you know, a 20-year-old in Caleb Williams do it. It was somewhat reminiscent of that with Bryce rolling out, whether it was left or right, and just still being able to rope a ball down the middle of the field.
Yeah.
Weird comparison, but like there was something there. I'm fascinated with this kid and how his progression takes going forward. On the Michigan State side of things, 1 game sample size compared to about 16 for Aidan Chiles. I mean, one of these guys is just clearly better than the other, right?
Yeah, but is it like, I mean, yes, I would say so. But I don't think that was, is that a shock to anyone?
I thought it was going to be a lot closer. Like, I thought this was going to be a debate throughout the course of the season. Who's going to be better? Yeah, I did.
See, I thought the only opportunity would be Chiles right away. You know, maybe it takes Bryce Underwood 4 or 5 games to get into the mix of things, and after that, he clearly will shine as the better quarterback.
Well, yeah, that's kind of what I figured. And Underwood, or Chiles with much better weapons in my opinion, which I still think is kind of true. Better weapons, second year in a system, really third year under this whole Jonathan Smith system. I don't know. I just thought there was a world where they hit the ground running, and they did in that first half versus Western Michigan. They looked like a dominant Big Ten team going up against a MAC school. And then the second half, they didn't score more than 2 points via safety. That was it. Look, I did think there was a chance that we were having this conversation throughout the course of the year, who's better right now, redshirt junior Aidan Chiles versus true freshman Bryce Underwood. 1 week, again, one sample size. One of those guys clearly popped off the screen more than the other person. And forget about the stats for a second, which by the way, 250, there's not a ton of quarterbacks that threw for 250 this weekend. Bryce Underwood did. But forget about that for a second. Forget about the completion percentage. Forget about all the stats. If you're just talking about sitting down on your TV, 12 hours, who pops off the screen for the quarterbacks? Underwood was just one of those guys. You know what I mean? Lenore Sellers pops out. Garrett Nussmeier pops out for the pro scouting aspect of it, but not from a physicality standpoint or anything like that. Underwood just pops. There was just a few plays he had where it was whoa, you don't really see that in a normal college football game.
Yeah, agreed. I mean, that was definitely the part about Underwood's game that got you most excited, was just the different ways that he was able to attack this game in his first ever game. And maybe that's the fact that he really popped off just because it was his first ever game. But yeah, as far as Underwood versus Chiles week 1, I mean, obviously Bryce looked like the much better quarterback.
And you're not surprised by this?
I mean, maybe a little, I guess, but I don't know. I think this upcoming week there's a chance for Chiles to really maybe toss his name into this. If Underwood in his first true challenge, and it already comes in week 2, struggles a little bit, and then Chiles kind of makes up for what happened last year against Boston College, has a big game, they win. I know they're favored, but
there's also a world where you get done with this weekend, and all of a sudden we're talking about Bryce Underwood, not just the best quarterback in the state, but the rest of the conference. There's a world.
In the conference.
There's a world.
In the conference.
Did Julian Sain impress you a whole lot against Texas? I'm just asking. Hold on. I'm just asking.
Julian Sain's not the. I mean,
I know. Hold on. I'm just asking questions. Did Julian Sain impress you all that much versus Texas?
No, but I think he did what he needed to do. They didn't let him. They weren't playing him like Bryce. They weren't kind of letting him run around and let it fly and everything. Obviously, against Texas, you're probably not going to do that. But
both teams extremely conservative play calling.
Would it shock you if Julian Sain threw for 350 and 4 touchdowns this week against Grambling?
No.
Not
at all.
Exactly.
But I look around the rest of the Big Ten, and he comes to mind. Drew Aller comes to mind, right? These are the guys that you kind of are talked about as the best guys. I think Drew Aller still has a lot to prove in terms of, putting the team on his shoulders. It feels like for the first 3 or 4 years of his college career, I don't know if he's a true senior or a redshirt senior?
I believe
I think he's a redshirt senior.
Yes.
So his first few years in college, it kind of felt like he was just doing as little as possible to put his imprint on the game. He was a system quarterback, but almost in a bad way.
True senior, by the way.
True senior, okay. It felt like he never wanted to put the ball in harm's way. It's like, hey, we need you to go on a 2-minute drill. Here's 3 checkdowns, very high completion percentage. He's still got a lot to prove in terms of hey, when there's a 2-minute drill and we're down by 7, can you actually do this for us? Not that Bryce Underwood has proved that at all, other than, the 2-minute drill before halftime. I'm just saying, I don't think it's all that crazy that by the end of the season, we're looking around the Big Ten and we're looking at all the quarterbacks. We're like, who had the best year? It's not that crazy. 989-837-6125. Your biggest takeaways from Michigan and Michigan State's performances. We'll get to some Tigers thoughts as well. Again, it's 989-837-6125. This is Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Terry Johnson, President and CEO of Greater Midland. what faced the most challenges for you? Like, is there a certain role that you were like, public, I know you said public affairs, but there was a certain time period or maybe even a certain event where you're like, okay, this is a challenge I can now take with me throughout my entire career, or any advice that you have for like young professionals that you learned maybe from like a certain lesson?
Yeah, two things come to mind. One, for a period of my Dow career, I managed crisis communications. So nothing's more challenging or a better learning opportunity is when you're kind of feet in the fire, when there's things going on.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Isaiah, let's play some word association.
I'm ready.
Spring.
Wheat pears.
Wind.
Roofing.
Rain.
Gutters.
Leak.
Buckley Satin Berry Repair.
Who do you call?
Ghostbusters.
No, son. Who do you call?
Buckley Satin Berry Repair.
That's right. Don't wait until spring. Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today for all your roofing and gutter needs.
In every town, there's a team that brings us together. A team that stands for more than just the game. It's tradition. It's family. It's where we belong. Because this isn't just baseball. It's community. It's pride. It's home. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team. From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
High school sports don't just happen. There's a ton of work that goes into every single athletic event.
And we have our school's athletic director to thank for a lot of it. Thank you.
For scheduling officials, so I can always play the game I love.
For ordering quality athletic equipment, so I can stay safe on the field.
For mentoring my coaches, so they can be the best role models for me.
For coordinating transportation, so I can get focused for the big game.
For helping us develop character and learn lessons that will benefit us for the rest of our lives.
Thank you to our AD for always creating a positive experience for us. We'll never forget it.
From all of us at the NIAAA, thank you to every athletic administrator in Michigan for all you do to enrich the lives of your students. It does not go unnoticed. This message presented by the NIAAA, the National Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Tigers, tough time outscoring the Mets yesterday. Juan Soto with the grand slam to take the lead over the Tigers. They try to bounce back. They score some more runs, fight and claw their way to the end, but it's the Mets that end up taking game one of the series. 7 pitchers they used. They're in playoff mode over in New York. The Mets come into this game and light up Charlie Morton. They light up Drew Summers. Tough game for the Tigers, but the fact that they still found themselves kind of in it in the 8th and 9th inning, I thought was almost a testament to the offense rather than, we can sit here and bash the pitching staff, which we're going to share our concerns with. But
we're going to do.
We're going to do. But the fact that they clawed their way back into it, I thought was a win in its own.
Yeah, I thought so too. I mean, as soon as Soto hit that grand slam, you're just like, oh, like this game's over. Obviously this game's over. And then they punch their way back, get back into it. Soto strikes again. I mean, the grand slam and the triple, pretty brutal stuff.
Against 2 different Tigers pitchers too.
Charlie Morton, man, as much as I sit here and love the guy, like the unk, when you hit unk status, you just have your off days, man. It's just what happens when you get up there in age. When you get beyond the 40 mark, it's really hard to dominate every single game, which he doesn't rarely ever do. But yeah, I mean, look, it's just we're sitting here joking about it, and I do think the Tigers offense did a really good job getting back into the game. But at the end of the day, like, the more and more this stuff happens, you just sit here and realize, like, dude, any non-Scooble star in a playoff series, how do you feel confident at all in the Tigers to win a playoff series right now? You know?
It almost feels
inevitable,
worse going into this year than it did last year, where it was like, hey, this pitching by chaos thing is weird, and maybe it works.
Yeah, because we kind of threw this idea out there like a month ago that, ironically, it is once again Scooble and everybody else, but in a way different fashion this year. This year they're actually healthy, which, I mean, not really, because probably your ideal 2 and 3 guys in Job and Olsen are hurt. But, I mean, you're healthy in the fact that you actually have 5 starting pitchers.
And I know Job wasn't lights out to start the year, but you would really think by this year he was, like, showing some real signs, which maybe that's just wishful thinking. But,
I mean, with the way that this pitching staff looks right now, I don't really think it's wishful thinking, just because there's a good chance he could be the number 2 in this rotation if he was healthy.
He's one of the only guys that theoretically should have gotten better as the season went on, just because of the experience level. Whereas Flaherty with his age, that's right, with Flaherty with his age kind of wearing down here, Morton, same thing. Mize, you wouldn't think it would affect him, but he's a completely different pitcher in the second half of the season versus what he was in the first half. He's not an all-star.
Straight up, Mize stinks right now.
And he has for 2 months.
Right. I'm not saying overall he does. Like, I think there's still a world where he could turn it around here in September and get hot going into the playoffs, and we're like, okay, at least he's the established number 2. But right now, that's not the scenario. He has not been a good pitcher over the last month and a half, 2 months, which is very frustrating. Charlie Morton is in every other game. He's either going to strike out 8 and give up a run or 2, or he is going to get rocked early. And Jack Flaherty, obviously, that's been the case with him all season long. He's basically every 3 of 4 starts, he has a bad outing. So I struggle to believe, like you said, I think probably last year you felt better about this pitching staff going into the playoffs because at least the pitching by chaos stuff worked.
It was goofy. You didn't really know what was going on.
It was like, I don't know why this works, and at some point it has to stop working, and it really never did. This year it's like, okay, I feel good about the Scooble starts, sure, but then after that, oh, man, you don't feel good about anybody stepping out there to start a series.
Well, potentially some new life today. We're going to have Sawyer Gibson Long out on the mound. I hope this isn't just an open, like a 2 innings, like, and you're done. I really hope they let him go. And what makes me think they actually might let that happen is Melton pitched almost 3 innings yesterday. They don't have the bulk relief guy. I hope they just let him go. And it's tough sledding against this Mets team, but you got to see something. You got to try out something else. And I also can't believe they didn't go give Walker Buehler a call.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. I mean, that seemed like a no-brainer. Maybe they did, and he just wanted to go to Philly. Like, that, there's a world where that was the case. But to me, it's like with the Gibson Long stuff, yeah, I'm excited for him out there. There's no world he's starting a playoff game, like a real start, you know? So no matter what he does, they're not going to add him to this rotation. So at the end of the day, like, we're stuck with the 5 guys that they have, you know? We can kick Chris Paddock out of the playoff rotation for sure, but these 4 that they have are going to be the guys that start in the playoffs, which is quite frustrating and just nerve-wracking.
Evan Petzel at a piece basically confirming everything that we had thought about the Tigers and how they were going to use Troy Melton. Just like, hey, this is a weapon we feel comfortable using out of the bullpen more so than a starter. I would make the argument, if push comes to shove, you got to at least entertain that idea of Melton joining the lineup, because he's straight up the second best pitcher they have that can go more than, like, that's not a closer, right? Is that even up for debate anymore?
Probably. I'm just trying to think if, like, is the sample quite not there yet to make that?
You can make that argument, but I feel more comfortable with him out there than Mize or Flaherty at this point.
Probably, yeah.
You're just really banking on Reese Olson coming back at this point.
It's a tough thing to bank on. Where's Paul Sewald, man?
I don't think it's a tough thing to bank on. They said he was going to be pitching in the postseason again. I think any injury stuff with
this team is tough to bank on, man. Just with everything that's happened this season, Alex Cobb, you know, like all this injury stuff, nothing you can count on when it comes to injuries with this team.
989-837-6125. You know, after the show yesterday, hit 18. After the show today, we're going to the Greater Midland Community Center. Well, I don't know if we are, but I'll be there. Kyle, I usually see there as well. Greater Midland Community Center is your hub for wealth, wellness, and fun right in the heart of Midland. From fitness classes and open gym sessions to swimming, youth sports, and family activities, there's something for everyone. Affordable memberships, expert staff, and a welcoming space for all ages and abilities. If you're hosting an event, ask about their rental spaces and full-service event support. Stay active, stay connected, all under one roof. That is Greater Midland Community Center. Learn more or sign up today at greatermidland.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Great Lakes has reached the final week of the regular season after closing out their 2025 home schedule on Sunday. The Loons split with the Whitecaps 3 games apiece after losing 7-2 on Sunday, but a big highlight from the final homestand was Adam Serwanowski striking out 12 on Friday night.
The 0-2. Cold strike 3, there it is, a dozen tonight for Adam Serwanowski. He confidently marches off the mound. This 21-year-old carving up one of the best offenses in the minor leagues this year.
Great Lakes is now playing for postseason play, facing off against the team that is a half game up on them right now for that final playoff spot, Lake County. The Loons need 4 of 6 to advance to the postseason. You're not going to want to miss this final 6-game series with Lake County, and it all starts Tuesday night. First pitch at 6:35, pregame at 6:20 here on The Mitt.
The new rebranded Matt Smith Modern Realty.
Well, Matt Smith Outdoors was really reflective of how I started my real estate journey, taking my outdoor experience, moving that into the real estate space to help people buy and sell land. So many people in this region ended up calling me and wanting me to work with them to help them buy and sell homes. This new brand was more reflective of what I'm delivering to people in this region every day.
Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At IronStack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronStackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. IronStack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
Midland Eye Care wants you to know, according to a recent study conducted by the AOA, the Optical Laboratories Association, and the Vision Council, nearly half of all glasses ordered online had either prescription errors or failed to meet minimum safety standards. Midland Eye Care offers a full-service optical department meeting all your eye care needs. So call your local Midland Eye Care and avoid incorrect prescriptions costing you time and money. Midland Eye Care, your vision source on Eastman Road in Midland, on Cedar and Gladwin, and on East Washington and Freeland.
A beautiful yard increases both the value of your home and the quality of your life. Commercially, landscaping creates a positive impression of your professionalism and commitment to community, customers, and employees. Cervinsky Sod has been creating and maintaining outdoor spaces for 56 years. Whether your project is residential or commercial, the team at Cervinsky Sod Services will work with you to build and meet budgets and finish the job with top quality and in a timely manner. To get a quote, call 989-835-4810 or visit CervinskySodService.com.
Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Week 2 coming up. Week 1 coming up in the NFL scene. A lot of other stuff going on right now, too. Let's let Kyle take over for the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
Hey, you ain't kidding, Ben. There's a lot going on.
I never kid.
Never.
Ever.
All right, let's get back into the news. First things first, we talked about it yesterday with that big-time matchup ahead of the quarterfinals in the women's side of the U.S. Open, and Naomi Osaka Some are saying she's back because she knocked off number 3 Coco Gauff to advance to the quarterfinals.
Oh, she's back all right. That was a very fast tennis match. So you know how this year we've gotten into golf? Like, that's been a very public thing that we've said on the show many times in terms of watching, playing. Yesterday was the first time I actually threw the tennis match on. Almost said game. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. That was really fun. Really quick match between those two. But Coco Gauff goes down. 2-time U.S. Open champion Naomi Osaka trying to claim her 3rd. 3 wins away. Is it going to happen?
Yeah, the major headline right now everywhere, they're talking about it, is this the breakthrough tournament for Osaka? We're going to see. So pretty cool to see. Pretty notable name there, obviously.
So her first run back since having a child. So she won it back in 2020 and 2021. Maybe it was 2019, 2020. But yeah, looking to claim her 3rd.
Yeah, on the men's side, Jannik Sinner and Carlos Alcaraz, number 1 and 2, still in the quarterfinals, and Novak Djokovic is also in the quarterfinals. So we're excited to see that go down. We do have the doubles going on as well in the U.S. Open, and we do have a little bit of Venus Williams stuff. Venus Williams and her partner Leylah Fernandez reached the quarterfinals in the doubles tournament, and Venus has called out her sister Serena Williams. She says she's so happy for Leylah and I, and she's given us advice. We just need her in the box. So my message is, Serena, you need to show up. Ooh.
Saginaw's own.
Digging Serena Williams here.
Is this what old tennis players do? They just start playing doubles in these tournaments?
I don't know.
Do you know how old Venus and Serena are?
Like in their 30s? Late 30s?
Oh, my God. No, they're 45 and 43.
Really? Wow. Man, you're calling them people old? It's messed up, man.
They're unks. They're aunties.
Aunties for sure, yeah. Okay, enough tennis talk. Let's get back to some football here. Because your boy, Chapel Bill, gets killed last night live. TCU destroys UNC 48-14. Oh, man, this was a major blowout.
You know, this one started when you and I were on a hole 18. I pulled it up. And UNC went down and scored with relative ease, like a hot knife through butter. They just went right up and down the field, go up 7-0. And I looked at Kyle. I said, lock of the day, looking pretty good. And then they proceeded to stop playing football for the rest of the game. Embarrassed in every aspect. Look, I think Belichick's a great coach, X's and O's. I wouldn't be surprised if there was like a story that comes out eventually where it's like none of these kids understand the scheme or concept or anything about the defense.
True. To what I talked about yesterday, I legitimately just think Bill is not fully bought in to this whole coaching college thing.
Is it an overreaction to say this is a one-and-done situation?
Oh, no. No, I don't know if Bill Belichick finishes the season.
They wouldn't fire him.
Even when this happened, I thought this was all a full ploy just to get Steve Belichick, his son, the head coaching job. Because remember, that was like part of his contract.
That he's the predecessor? He
son
signed a
is the
5-year,
predecessor.
$50 million deal.
Like, I would
That's
not
a
be
lot
shocked
of money
if,
down the drain
I would
if
not
they
be
fire
shocked
him.
if UNC is 4-8 at the end of the year, and he's just like, yeah, whatever, now Steve can be the coach.
Well, UNC is going to be out a lot of money then if they still owe this guy the full $50 million. It's $10 million a year for 5 years.
Man,
that's
jeez. That's crazy stuff.
I also don't think there's any chance he's back in the NFL again.
Right.
Just to be clear. I don't know if anybody thinks that anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
And it's not because of the failures. It's more like I just think that ship has sailed.
Well, yeah, he's wifed up, you know? He's got a lot going on there.
I can't wait for those photo proposals to drop. Like, everyone's memifying the Kelsey Swift engagement photos. No, the Belichick Jordan Hudson engagement photos are going to be the real meme of the century. The real engagement photos that matter.
Legitimately disgusting work there.
What do you mean?
That's something I will never get over. It's
disgusting work.
That whole
Good
situation.
for our guy.
No.
What are you
the
talking
guy
about?
is 50. The female is our age, Ben. It is very just.
How old is Bill? Like 72?
73 years old.
You're telling me when you're 73?
50 years.
Kyle, if you and I are 73 and you pull a 26-year-old, I'm gonna dap you up. Okay? I'd be impressed. Don't be hating on the guy for this. Okay?
Oh, I am, and I will continue to. This is some. Really...
It's more weird for her than it is for him.
No, it's more weird for both of them. I think it's pretty evenly weird here.
No, every 73-year-old listening out there is like,
here.
nope, he's got it figured out.
No,
I don't know what you're talking about.
I really don't agree with that. but let's move on here. To some NFL news. Matt Stafford expected to start season opener against the Texans. I don't think this is much of a shock to anyone, but it's just good to know that this is finally confirmed. Obviously, been a really weird training camp and offseason for Stafford injury-wise, but he will be good to go week 1.
Doesn't it feel like this is more so a PR push of like, look, Matthew Stafford's healthy. Ah!
No, I think they're just saying he's good to go, right? I mean, isn't that what you do when there's guys that are questionable? You say they're healthy now?
Yeah, but he's been healthy for weeks. He's been healthy for weeks.
What
he started practicing. Why would he not be ready to go?
What kind of PR push would this be?
It's like, hey, everyone, look, Stafford's healthy. Nothing's going on over here. Don't look.
Or he just is healthy, so he's playing week 1, so they're announcing that. Like
that could be the case, too.
I would feel like that's maybe the case. More quarterback stuff, though.
Also, wait, that is such a great week 1 matchup. We have so many
we
elite
really do,
week 1 matchups.
Is that a 1 p.m.? Let me pull this up really quick. And I can't wait to just go through all these games. Oh, wow. Yeah, so Rams-Texans is, it's the 4:25 CBS game. Oh, wait, no, but the Lions
That's the Lions
yeah.
game.
Well, they're also on CBS, but I just was hoping one of them would be
Those
on
are both 4 o'clock games? Man.
Yeah, so the Texans-Rams will not be on national TV because the Lions have the Nance Romo game, correct?
Yeah, there are so many good games this week. Even like the Panthers-Jags.
For Rams-Texans, probably. Good stuff.
So many good games.
Can't wait. And obviously the Sunday night game of Bills-Ravens, just going to be elite stuff. Okay, back into the news here. More quarterback stuff. Everybody's been dying to know. Who is going to be the backup quarterback of the New York Giants? Well, Brian Daboll says he's not going to tell anyone until Sunday, till the game day. Is it going to be Jackson Dart? Is it going to be Jameis Winston? We're dying to know. We're going to have to wait a couple more days.
Oh, okay. It's probably Dart, right? I mean,
What's the point of Winston being on the roster? That's my whole thing.
What's the point of Winston being on any roster? Bring the vibes up.
Sure, yeah.
I don't know if
Jameis Winston is a backup quarterback in the NFL, though. Like, he's not a third. Like, a team could use Jameis as their backup, you know?
How the Lions? No, actually, they would never trust Jameis Winston to be their quarterback.
I would love it,
in any scenario.
I'd be down.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes,
that would be
dude.
Dan Campbell's worst nightmare is bringing in Jameis Winston. And based on what Brad Holmes said about bringing in a third string, it's like, what do you want to prioritize a guy bringing in a quarterback, guy we trust to run the system, guy who has some experience? No, Jameis Winston's coming down the field and Jameis Winston's getting in the huddle in a Lions uniform and saying, "Jamo, just go deep. I'm throwing it to you no matter what." That would be Jameis Winston's approach in a Lions game.
Yeah, I still would love Winston though. I mean, just for the memes, you know, it's like he just deserves to be that guy. Okay, we'll close things here with the news. Last college football notes. Obviously, the big time upset this weekend: Florida State beating Alabama. They get fined $50,000 by the ACC for storming the field after the game. Oh, come on, we're still doing this? Let them storm the field.
Going away.
Let them storm the field. Right?
Yeah. I don't know if I have much to add to this. You got to storm the field if you're a student. If you're a student and you've got enough people to do it without being stopped, just do it.
Just do it, man.
Do it.
That's all I'm saying.
Schools make enough money.
I do have one more thing in the news, actually, and then we'll end it here. The Loons are starting a 6-game series tonight with the Lake County Captains. They're down a half a game. The final series of the regular season, looking to get into the playoffs. This is exactly kind of what you asked for at the beginning of the season. The last two teams going up against each other. Should be a ton of fun. Hopefully the Loons can win.
All right, 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. This rotation for the Tigers in October, there's a lot of question marks around it. Who's going to make the cut? I'll tell you when you come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt. Now, wait a second, Sharon. So the Midland Area Community Foundation runs the Midland Area Santa House?
You bet we do.
And Midland Area River Days?
Absolutely.
Plus scholarships for students and grants for local nonprofits? That's like hitting the cycle and impacting our community.
Anyone can step up to the plate and help build community capital for as little as $5.
$5? That's the cost of a snack at the ballpark. How do I get in the game?
Just visit MidlandFoundation.org and make a gift to our Community Investment Fund. Every dollar makes a difference.
Join the team. Give today at MidlandFoundation.org.
Fall is for planting, and Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center is making it the best time of year to grow. For a limited time, enjoy 40% off select trees, shrubs, and perennials. That's pretty much their entire plant inventory. So whether you're adding curb appeal, refreshing your garden, or planting for the future, they've got the quality, selection, and savings you've been waiting for. Don't miss the fall planting sale at Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center, where your garden begins to grow. Maple Hill Nursery and Garden Center, growing with you this fall.
Get ready, Michigan. Field of Frames Fest presented by Dow is taking over Dow Diamond September 26th through 28th. It's the ultimate celebration of gaming, esports, and community, bringing together fans, families, players, and industry pros for a 3-day festival like no other. Watch elite teams battle in high-stakes competition. The Valorant Collegiate Invitational and Rocket League Semi-Pro Showdown, each with $10,000 prize pools. A $5,000 Super Smash Bros. Open Tournament. And a 17U Fortnite Youth Tournament with $1,000 up for grabs. There's live music, entertainment, and activities for all ages, plus educational panels and hands-on workshops for those interested in tech, business, and gaming industries. Tickets start at just $25, and kids 10 and under get in free. Don't miss your chance to be part of a landmark event. Visit fieldofFramesFest.com to grab your tickets today. Field of Frames. Experience the element of gaming.
In every town, there's a team that brings us together. A team that stands for more than just the game. It's tradition. It's family. It's where we belong. Because this isn't just baseball. It's community. It's pride. It's home. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think the Detroit Lions are going to be worse this season, but still go 12-5 and win the NFC North. I think the Minnesota Vikings are the biggest threat to steal the NFC North from the Detroit Lions. I think we got to taper back our expectations for Bryce Underwood, with him being an 18-year-old freshman and all. I think the lack of aggression from Scott Harris at the MLB trade deadline is going to haunt the Tigers for years to come. And I think you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show weekdays from 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said.
You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic? Yeah. We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
Every Wednesday on 100.9 The Mitt on the Ben Bosscher Show, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
For the next 3 weeks, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, we are going to be sending someone to the Michigan State Spartans games for their matchups against Western Michigan, Boston College, and Youngstown State. All you have to do is be listening to the show at 10:15 and listen for that keyword to text in. Big Win Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet.
Attention high school sports fans, are you an armchair official? You know, the parent or fan who constantly yells at the referees and loves to let everyone know just how bad you think they are. Well, if you think you could do better, then get in the game and prove it. It's time for you to suit up and make the calls where they actually count. Every sport in Michigan needs more officials. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
989-837-6125. We asked for your guys' initial thoughts on Michigan and Michigan State's first game. Got a texter coming in saying, no one mentioned Justice Haynes, the running back. I believe Haynes will be one of the best running backs in the Big Ten this season. Yeah, he was a monster to open up that game. I mean, he has the 2 different 50-plus yard rushing attempts, one of them going for a touchdown. That's going to be someone who is a big deal for Michigan this season. He didn't even know he was going to be the starting running back until Friday, like 24 hours before the game. They throw him right into that lineup. Ironic, I thought there was going to be a ton of good elusiveness stats, like some of this advanced stuff, missed tackles forced. He only had one of those. So I think the offensive line deserves just as much credit for how dominant they were in the run game compared to what Justice Haynes got as well. But lights out running back that they got over from Bama.
Yeah, he looked pretty good. I think it's safe to say he definitely will be one of the better running backs in the conference this year for sure.
Jay says, yes, I know it's only one game, and not all freshman quarterback play the way that Underwood did. I haven't seen all the quarterbacks in the Big Ten, but it'd be hard-pressed to find not only a stronger armed quarterback, but with as much control and poise as Underwood did as well. Yeah, that's the big thing for me, man. It's like he displayed not only the arm talent in terms of just ripping the ball down the field and up the seam, but he did all this other stuff too, of the touch passes in the back of his end zone, throwing touchdown passes with the loft into the end zone, throwing on the run, whether it's to his left or his right, avoiding sacks. He did a little bit of everything. To where if you're a Michigan fan, I don't know how you don't walk away from this just counting down the days until you get to get your eyes on him again.
I do think there's a good chance he already has kind of solidified himself as one of the 3 best quarterbacks in the conference, which might be already crazy to say.
Aller, Underwood, and who would you have as the third?
I feel like Luke Altmaier from Illinois deserves some love here. Pretty underrated. And I just think in general he's one of the more experienced, because this is a younger conference of quarterbacks this season. There is a lot of young guys. Dylan Raiola has a shot to get in this for sure. Dante Moore at Oregon I think could have a really big year. But as far as, I mean, I don't know, Billy Edwards Jr. from Wisconsin had a bad game week 1, but coming into the year, it was he might be one of the better quarterbacks in the conference. But yeah, I think, like we said, I'm not going to give him that tag yet until after this Oklahoma game. After the Oklahoma game, I think it's safe to say if he has a good one, Michigan wins, pulls off the upset, yeah, he's for sure a top 3 quarterback in the conference already.
Altmaier is one of those high floor guys, it feels like.
Yeah.
You know what you're getting from him. He's not going to take a ton of risks. Well above average quarterback, but Underwood clearly could pass him in a power poll for quarterbacks in the Big Ten, right?
Could,
yeah.
Yeah, potentially.
Also, did you get to watch any of that Illinois game? They had a beatdown on whoever they played.
Yeah, I
didn't watch any of it.
I didn't get to watch it, but I just saw the score. Yeah, I'm pulling it up real quick. Yeah, Western Illinois.
Oh,
they have a good
sense.
game this week. They play Duke at Duke.
I mean, I guess at Duke. I guess
they're 2.5 point favorites.
Illinois is?
Yeah.
Wait,
it's a tight line.
Get rid of the lines. We got something coming up later on where I want you to to guess all the college football lines for this week.
My bad.
No, you're good. We're all good. Make sure we don't miss anything in the YouTube chat as well. You guys can drop a comment there. Winston's an all-time vibes guy. That's from Cody. Yeah, no, he totally is. Not a guy I'd want on my football team, though. He's a fun vibes guy if your team stinks. But I don't know if he helps out a real winning organization
and also most
like the
teams
Lions.
He's on stinks.
It's because he's not very good.
Oh man, you just have more Jameis slander than anybody I've ever seen, man.
It's
guys just out.
It's really
Jameis.
fun, but if I'm talking, I would never want the Lions to add someone like that. That's all.
So just because you don't want him on the Lions doesn't mean you can't like the guy.
That's true. I guess I don't want him anywhere near my football team, but yeah, no, I still really like him.
What's the ideal post-playing career Jameis Winston look like? Because I think there's a lot of different routes he could go. Is he a best in-studio guy? Is he a best just on a podcast with someone?
No, because if he goes down that
Barstool?
path, he's just not going to be watched by anyone unless it's Barstool.
Do you actually want him as the color guy in a game? I think he's probably best. He's probably best in the Gronk role, right? Just as the studio guy. But I don't know. I
Yeah.
kind of want as much Jameis as I can get, so maybe I do want him in a game. I really don't know. Like, I think there's a lot of options for the post-playing career Jameis, but absolutely he will be with some network. There's no doubt about that.
He should just be the Florida State head coach if this doesn't work out with.
I haven't thought
Novell.
about the coaching career for Jameis Winston.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I don't know about that. I don't know if that's going to be in play.
He might try to take over Brian
All-time
Dable's
motivator.
job.
All-time motivator, though. That's for sure.
Well, that seems to be what they're doing with Teddy Bridgewater down in Miami. It's like, yeah, you're a backup quarterback, but you're really just a quarterback coach. And then he's probably just going to like be on the Miami coaching staff next year is what it sounds like. What if the Giants are doing the same thing with Jameis? It's like, that's why he's actually here. We're going to have him
at least
be
Teddy
the head
Bridgewater
coach.
does have a season of actual coaching under his belt.
Yeah, but there's no way he's motivating guys like, Jameis
No,
ate
you're
a
right.
W.
All-time motivator, Jameis Winston is, yes.
He literally ate a W for his team. It doesn't really get much better than that.
You're right.
This starting rotation for the Tigers, how's that for a transition? When it comes to the playoffs, I think it's a lock that Scooble's in it, obviously. Everything from that point forward, like, nothing would surprise me. If you were to come from the future and tell me right here on September 2nd, 3 guys in any order, whether it's Melton, Olsen, Flaherty, Mize, hell, Sawyer Gibson Long, like any of these guys, Morton, Paddock, you could tell me any 3 other guys to be in the 4-man rotation, and I'd believe you. On how this last month is going to play out, which is not a good situation to find yourself in if you're a playoff team that is this far established into the playoffs. You know what I'm like? No other team has as big of a lead in their division as the Tigers do, yet there's so many question marks around who the hell do they trust to put on the mound in an October game. And I think this next month is going to be really telling.
I'm not sure if they even know who they trust, right? Because you just said, like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at any combination that they throw out there. Not only would you not be surprised, but there's no combination that you feel good about either. There isn't one where you're like, okay, like I could see it a little bit here. No, there isn't an option like that. So I'm not sure the Tigers know what their playoff rotation looks like currently. I'm assuming that September is going to be telling for that, and it's probably just going to be as simple as, okay, who's pitching the best right now? And if you were asked that right now, who's pitching the best right now? You know, like
Troy Melton.
None of them.
Well, the answer would be Troy Melton, but they just came out and said yesterday, like, we like him out of the bullpen.
Yeah, he's going to be the number 2 in a playoff rotation? Like, that's obviously not going to happen. So,
who do you trust more than Troy Melton at this point? Or who do you trust less than him, I guess is maybe the better question.
I mean,
who do you ideally think is starting in Game 2 of a playoff series? Because I don't know, man.
I think it's just going to be Casey Mize. I think that you look – I understand, like, he's been rough since post-All-Star. Like, I'm not denying that. He totally has been. But I assume, just taking this from the Tigers' perspective, I assume they're just going to be like, look, he's the guy that for most of the season has been the number 2 guy that we've trusted the most and has probably put out the more consistent output across the entire season than anyone else. That's how I feel the Tigers are going to view it. I don't know if that's the right decision. Casey Mize is going to be starting in a playoff series no matter what. So it doesn't really matter essentially if he's the number 2 or 3, I guess, because I think he is a lock to be in it. Whereas a Flaherty probably is because they don't have any other options, but Mize is a more lock than he is. And then Morton and Paddock and Melton and Gibson Long, you're just like, what a combination. Whoever had the better last start is getting the start Game 3. You know, like that's how I think that this is going to go. And it's some of these guys need to get hot in September is really, really what it comes down to for Detroit. They need 1 or 2 guys to have 2-3 solid starts going into the playoffs, or else you're really going to feel like it's inevitable that they lose their first playoff series.
Well, assuming they get one of the top 2 seeds and they get a bye, they're going to be...
They will get a top 2 seed, yes.
Right, in a best-of-5 series. I think all of us kind of just write in wins for the series opener with Scooble on the mound. You lose that game, you're toast, right?
Yeah,
you have to just win that game. There's no way around it. And then after that, Casey Mize is rolling out there for like a start number 2, and then it's like, okay, you lose that game, you can't afford to go down 2-1. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if they were like, "Yep, here comes Melton." Like, that's
at least
the only card we can play.
Yeah, like, and maybe he doesn't get a full slate start, but just like a 3 or 4 inning. Like, we just need something to get us going hot in this game. But like, obviously you want the bye, but like, there's a world where this bye hurts you because you're obviously going to be facing a team that just won a 3-game playoff series. So they're already going to be bringing in momentum, and then you already don't trust your pitching staff. So it's just like...
Yeah, but here's where
I'm not saying that they don't want to buy. I'm just saying, like,
No, I think there's a real case for that, though.
Are the Tigers even going to be favored in their series is kind of where I'm going with this. I genuinely don't think so. And they'll be at home, but, I genuinely don't think so because you're going to be playing a team that just won a playoff series, and then they already don't have a good pitching staff compared to whoever they're going to play. I feel like they won't even be favored to win a series.
There's a real argument out there for not wanting to have a first round bye, and I get that. I made it last year. Like these teams with the first round byes get cold in that first round, which is fine. But I think the Tigers need it for two reasons. One, you guarantee Skubal pitching in game one of a series, because if you win that first round, there's no guarantee it lines up for Skubal to start. And because that extra week just maybe gives you extra time for Reese Olson to come back. Again, we haven't really got an update on that, but they said he should be back for the playoffs. Maybe get an extra week and he can get you in there. No rehab start, obviously, so a little bit scary, but who knows. Futures draft. What does that mean? I'll tell you when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
At Aidan Insurance Group, they're more than just policies. They're your trusted partners in protecting what matters most.
Whether it's auto, home, life, or business insurance, their team takes the time to understand your needs and find the best coverage for your unique situation.
With personalized service and unbeatable rates, Aidan Insurance Group makes protecting your future easy.
Call Aidan Insurance Group today and see why their clients trust them to keep them covered.
Aidan Insurance Group.
The experience matters.
Since 2007, the Michigan Baseball Foundation has invested over $1.8 million into our communities, supporting over 350 projects across 14 Michigan counties. From restoring Alma Little League fields to creating nature-based classrooms at the Chippewa Nature Center and enhancing accessibility at the middle of the Mitt Miracle Field, MBF is making a real difference. Every ticket to a Great Lakes Loons game helps fund these initiatives. Join us in building a stronger, more vibrant community. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
In every town, there's a team that brings us together. A team that stands for more than just the game. It's tradition. It's family. It's where we belong. Because this isn't just baseball. It's community. It's pride. It's home. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
We are the NFHS. That stands for the National Federation of State High School Associations. But really, what we stand for, together with the MHSAA, are the 292,000 high school sports students in Michigan. And so we stand. We stand for the runners, soccer, and basketball players. We stand for their coaches, administrators, and officials. We stand for the swimmers, football players, and wrestlers. We stand for the golfers, softball, and volleyball players. We stand as the national leader and advocate for high school athletics and all who participate in them and make them possible. Because it is our purpose to ensure that high school students get to play, perform, and compete together. To learn more about who we are and what we stand for, visit nfhs.org.
From the Blasey Electric Studios, this is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Hour number 2, let's get rocking and rolling here on 100.9 The Mitt. We got something exciting going on. This is something Kyle and I have been looking forward to for a while here, but we had to wait until we actually got to the week of the NFL season. We don't have a name for this, I guess, but it's just an NFL futures bets draft. So Kyle and I came up with a list of, well, let's just say way too many futures bets that we liked. We're going to rip them off, go back and forth. I guess I don't know if it's a draft as much as we're just trading them back and forth. And at the end, maybe you and I agree on a handful of them, and actually make some, okay?
Let's do it.
We're just trying to make some money.
Yeah, man.
This NFL season.
I love making futures bets. Like, it is such a fun thing to do. And then after you do it, you're like,
why did I do this?
I got to wait like 6 months for this to happen.
Yeah,
like,
sometimes 7.
To find out the outcome for this. But I'm excited nonetheless.
There's nothing worse, though, than a futures bet that it's like over.
That's cooked in like a week? Yeah.
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 Like-
That will be half these.
Oh, 100%. But all you have to do is hit on like one of these, and it keeps you going. You know, it's like what they say about a golf when you go golfing and you're early on.
Are all your futures bets like plus 1,000?
No, not all of them. But like it's that one swing will keep you coming back.
Yeah.
All you got to do is hit on one of these, and you're going to continue to make futures bets. So
Okay.
I'll kick us off. This is something we've talked about. I don't think I need a whole lengthy explanation on it because we've talked about it for months. But Lions to win the NFC North at plus 185 just feels like criminal value right now. The fact that they're not the favorites,
Yeah.
and Green Bay is. I get it. Micah Parsons is a great addition, but come on, let's just go. If we really want to go player for player, coach for coach, roster spot for roster spot, everything is going to favor the Lions.
Yeah, I got it too. I just think that, and obviously it's nice that if you did wait to do it until after the Micah Parsons deal, but maybe you feel less confident about it because of it. Who knows? But yeah, once again, the Lions are just being criminally underrated by not just the NFL fandom and league-wide people that watch the game, but the sports books as well. So it's a best time ever to get value on the Lions. Plus 185, I'm with it.
I'm highlighting this one because we both agree on it. All right, let's you go now.
Okay, I got a good one. I mentioned this a little bit yesterday when we did the AFC over-unders, but Bills to be the 1 seed in the AFC plus 260. I'm in love with this. I'm very, very confident that the Bills will win 13 or 14 games this year. Like I talked about, since we've moved to this 17-game format, it seems like there's a team inevitable, especially with how bad we think some of these teams are going to be this year in the NFL, like the Saints and Browns. If both of those teams win 2 or 3 games apiece, like that means somebody is winning 15 games. I think the Bills are the team that is locked in the most to win this. I decided to go with the plus 260 to be the 1 seed because if you do an alt over of 13.5 wins for them, it's only plus 230. So I was basically going to take whichever's better value there. Bills plus 260 to be the 1 seed is where I went.
What about like plus 14 wins? Because it basically takes 14 wins to get the 1 seed, right?
Well, that's over 13.5 wins would be 14 wins.
Oh.
Yes.
I thought you said 13 plus. Okay. I don't hate that.
Bills to get 15 wins is where it gets a little crazy. That's nearly plus 500. It's plus 490.
I'd rather just take 1 seed.
Exactly. That's a little bit too crazy. Bills to be the 1 seed plus 260. I think it's really good value. I think the only teams that are really scaring them for this is the Ravens. I genuinely don't think the Chiefs will be the 1 seed this year. I'm not one of these people that's fading the Chiefs season-wide by any means. But I think it's Bills and Ravens race to be the 1 seed.
I don't hate that one. But what I like a little bit more, and obviously because way less odds, Texans to win the AFC South. You would think this would be minus odds, right? It's not.
Yeah, but there isn't a ton of division minus odds. Like, it's only the obvious ones that are at minus odds.
Plus 115. This feels like a steal, right? C.J. Stroud has to get hurt for this to not hit. This is going to be one of the 3 or 4 best defenses in the NFL if they can stay healthy and just no injury concerns.
And
with
I
this
think
team.
the big part with this one is like there really is only one other team that's threatening them. It's not like they're.
The Jaguars.
It's not like the Colts or Titans have a chance to win the division. There's literally no chance. So it's just, can the Jags really break out enough where they do threaten the Texans? Yeah, I like that one. It just seems pretty obvious. It's the obvious pick. They've won it the last 2 years, and it'd be pretty surprising if they didn't this season.
You're up.
Okay. I'm trying to decide where I want to go here. If I want to go player or team prop here, because I have a few that I like. I'll go player prop here. I know you're going to like this one. Because, I mean, you've been talking about this guy all offseason, but I like it as well. Nico Collins to get 1,250 receiving yards is plus 130.
Yes.
1,250 for Nico Collins. Look, if he stays healthy, he does this in his sleep. Like, this is going to be an obvious Nico Collins one. There's a couple things for him to even lead the league in receiving yards at, like, really good value. I'm not obviously doing that, but plus odds for him to get 1,250. He was on pace to absolutely crush this number a year ago before he got injured. So, obviously, when you bet any of these things, you're relying on no injuries, but I'm relying on no injuries here for Nico Collins.
I'll take it a step further. Nico Collins plus 1,600 offensive player of the year Nico Collins plus
Offensive player of the
2,000
year?
to lead the league in receiving touchdowns.
Oh, man, you did not take it a step further. You went 2 flights of stairs up, dude.
I'm all in on Nico Collins this season.
Offensive player
I'm
of the
all
year.
in. He's the most underrated receiver in the NFL.
Look, just
I
because
think
you
he's
drafted him
closer
in
to
fantasy
no,
doesn't
no,
mean that he is going to win
drafted
the award.
I don't have him in one league. I wish I had him in all my leagues. I think Nico Collins is closer to like Jefferson and Jamar than he is to say a Devonta Smith or a I don't know who's like a middling tier wide receiver one, like a Mike Evans. I think he's closer. Mike Evans is probably better than a middling tier, but you get what I'm saying. I think he's closer to the top of the top than he is anything else. Now, offense player of the year for 1,600 seems a little steep. Leading the league in receiving touchdowns, I don't think is all that crazy because I do think this team is going to pass more often than not, and that's part of the reason I also had C.J. Stroud to win MVP. At plus 2,500.
Aren't we supposed to be giving out like locks here?
No, not necessarily. I'm throwing out as many as possible to see what we can agree on by the end of it. So far, it's Lions to win the North, but Stroud plus 2,500. I didn't want to go with one of the top 3 guys, although like Mahomes plus 600 also just feels like
and the Mahomes,
incredible value.
It's kind of like one of those things when LeBron was in his prime. Like just bet on Mahomes to win the MVP every year because it happens every like 2 or 3 years, anyways.
Right.
You'll long term make money.
Right. Those would be my 2 picks. Mahomes being the little bit of a safer play and Stroud being the long play. I look at it, there's not a ton of threats in that division. I expect them to win 11 or 12 games this season.
An 11-win team quarterback is not winning the MVP.
Hear me out. They don't have a running back, Kyle. They're going to pass the ball, I think, a lot more than people realize. Even though they're going to have, a defense that puts them in pretty good positions. If Stroud is just constantly throwing the ball and Nico Collins has as good of a season as we kind of think he's going to have, then I think there's a world where C.J. Stroud is like reinserted back into the top 5 conversation. I still think he's one of the 5 best quarterbacks in the NFL, and I don't think I've ever wavered from that. But last year, it feels like everyone kind of threw him out the window and was like, oh, we got this new shiny toy in Jaden Daniels. I think Stroud throws himself back into that elite tier conversation. And look, plus 2,500 for a reason. But if there's a guy that I'm picking outside of those top 4 quarterbacks, I think it's Stroud.
There is legitimately 0% chance that one of the top 4 guys doesn't win MVP.
Zero?
0% chance one of
Zero.
Lamar. Zero. There is a 0% chance one of
Zero.
Lamar, Allen, Burrow, and who did I miss? Mahomes don't win MVP. If one of those 4 guys doesn't win the MVP, it's a world that we're not living in. There's no chance that anyone has better numbers. It's just because 3 of the 4. Okay, can you quit that? 3 of the 4 of those teams are just going to be really good. So it's like you're relying on all 3 of those teams to not be as good, and then Burrow is just going to have the craziest numbers ever if he stays healthy, no matter how good they are. So it's just for someone to leap all 4 of those guys, 0. Yes,
okay,
that's the worst one you've had so far.
I won't highlight that one then.
But Nico Collins, sure, I'm cool on that. Nico Collins, by the way, had 1,000 yards last year in 12 games.
Yeah.
Meaning if he just played in even 4 more games, let's say he misses 1, he would just need 50 yards a game to reach that 1,250 number. So I think he's absolutely doing it. Okay, I got a good one here. It's one I've been talking about all offseason. Vikings to make the playoffs, plus 115. Plus odds here for Minnesota. I'm still all in on Minnesota. I think that they are the second best team in this division. I know Green Bay adds Micah Parsons. I think they can all 3 still make the playoffs just like last year. But the Vikings just seem to be, once again, a popular fade team, kind of like the Lions are, and their roster's way too good to just be at plus money to make the playoffs. So
I had the exact same bet written down, plus 114 Minnesota to make the playoffs.
Yeah,
so I'll highlight that one too.
Big fan of that one. Okay, I'll let you take one here.
Travis Hunter, 10 touchdowns, plus 700. This includes if he gets a pick 6.
Man, you're just going. Oh, this does include a pick 6.
It does. It does. There's a prop for him to have 10 total touchdowns this season, defense included.
This has. I don't know. I just don't know what to do with the Travis Hunter stuff, man. I'm not like disagreeing with you. I just am kind of staying away from it all.
I'm all in on the fact that I think he can play both ways, and that the fact that the defensive touchdowns count towards this, I think makes it a little bit more enticing. But if they're only going to have him play one way, like let's say by week 4 they're like, this is too much for the guy. Let's convert him to one thing. It's definitely going to be offense. Like, it's just not going to be defense. They have an
Probably.
offensive-minded head coach. They took him second overall for him to catch touchdown passes. And the thing that I think that gets forgotten about him is his, like, tracking ability and ability to, go up, contort his body, and bring a ball in is amongst the best we've ever seen for prospects. He's a little bit more slim. Like, he's not this perfect receiver that, like, a Marvin Harrison was coming into the draft, even though I know that was a little bit disappointing. But the one thing that this guy, you can, in fact, count on him to do upon arrival in the league, I think, is to catch touchdowns. He is going to score when Trevor Lawrence throws him the ball in the end zone. 10 of them, that seems very likely. So I'll take Travis Hunter, 10 touchdowns.
I just feel like with Brian Thomas Jr. there, like he still gets more touchdowns, right?
Maybe, probably.
I would assume he does.
Who's to say they can't both score? They don't have their third option is Tim Patrick.
It's true. It's a good point. Okay, I'll give you another one. I'm going back to the player route here. This is a little bit of longer odds one for me. And it's one where I'm taking the favorite in something, which I don't necessarily love to do. But at the end of the day, for this guy to be the favorite at plus 550, I love it. Derrick Henry to lead the league in rushing touchdowns is at plus 550. He was tied last year with Jahmyr Gibbs and James Cook, and both of those guys have much better odds. But I just feel like with how good the Ravens offense once again is going to be, Lamar doesn't steal a ton of rushing touchdowns like Jalen Hurts does from a Saquon Barkley, like a David Montgomery does from a Jahmyr Gibbs, like a Josh Allen does from a James Cook. I just think that Henry at plus 550, I know he's older and everything. He scored a touchdown for the first 11 weeks last season. I like these odds for Derrick Henry to lead the league in rushing touchdowns.
What happens if there's a tie? Is it a loss?
It's a good question. It's probably a wash, which is dumb. He probably should just win it. You probably should win your bet, but I feel like it's probably a wash.
Maybe it's a push?
Which is unfortunate. Yeah, you probably just get your money back, which obviously stinks. But no, maybe you do. No, there's no way they pay out for 3 different people, though, like it would have been for last year. So, yeah, it's definitely a push. But, yeah, I like that one.
I like that one. I think you and I are both high on this team, and I think this might be the way to bet it. How about Liam Cohen to win Coach of the Year at plus 1,000?
That could be the way to bet it. Yeah, it typically goes to a first-year head coach.
The options are like Caleb Williams, Ben Johnson, Liam Cohen, Mike Vrabel are the 3 guys at the top. And Mike Vrabel's kind of being the guy that's picked as everyone's like, this team's going to jump forward. But what if Trevor Lawrence just comes out and he's a gunslinger and looks awesome right away? And the Jags, in that division end up finishing with 9 wins. Can Liam Cohen win Coach of the Year? Duval. I think that's totally on the table.
Duval.
Plus 10,000 or plus 1,000. That's the way I would be betting the Jaguars.
Yeah,
You want to highlight that one?
Yeah, I think I like that one actually. Do it because I'm not obsessed with the Texans to win the division. I think it is obvious, and the fact it is plus odds, yes. But I just had there is a world where the Jags can sneakily win this thing. So I think I like that one. Yeah, I'm with you there. Okay, I got another player one, and this goes back to your Travis Hunter thing a little bit. The fact that Cam Ward is basically the lone rookie starting quarterback in this class and is plus 300 to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, the second number 2 guy, I like that. Look, I understand Ashton Jenney, top 10 pick. He's the favorite right now. You have Travis Hunter. Who knows really what he's going to be about. But the last several years we've had either loaded wide receiver rookie classes where there's just a ton of different options to win the award, or B, several different starting quarterbacks as rookies to choose from. We have neither of those this season. There is not a large group of elite wide receiver prospects, and Cam Ward is the only guy that is threatening to win this award from the quarterback position. So Ashton Jenney would really have to do some crazy, crazy stuff. I think if Cam Ward legitimately just has a solid season, him being a quarterback in general will win him this award. So plus 300 for Offensive Rookie of the Year, I think that's kind of a steal.
You're not worried about Ted McMillan?
Not at all.
Just kidding.
He would have to have a crazy year. That's what it takes. Remember, Mac Jones almost won Rookie of the Year over Jamar Chase.
Pro Bowler.
Yeah, exactly. That's just because of the quarterback position that really plays into it.
I'll go another Offensive Player of the Year one. CeeDee Lamb plus 2,000 feels kind of insane right now.
I agree.
The fact that he has longer odds than Nico Collins, longer odds than Justin Jefferson. I guess that one makes a little bit more sense. But CeeDee, everyone thinks the new addition of George Pickens is going to oh, maybe he gets the ball a little more and CD's numbers go down. No, they're going to do the exact opposite.
Yeah, once again, who's the running back on that team? I think that really plays into this.
They're going to throw the ball 50 times a game. They're going to be targeting CD. And the fact that Pickens is out there now to be the big receiver on the outside is going to free up CD to do basically anything in how the Cowboys want to use him. I think CD could be, like, I took him 4th overall in my fantasy draft.
I
in
took
a
him
redraft.
second.
Yeah. So you like this one?
Yeah,
for long
I
odds.
like this one for sure. I also did I told you the Nico Collins one I did for the 1250 receiving yards. I did that same one with CD, and I just parlayed him because CD's -110 for it. Yeah.
What about CD to just win Offensive Player of the Year?
That's I mean, I think it's a good play. Like, if there's a receiver to do it this year, I think it's him.
Okay.
So I do like that one. I wish you could bet him to lead the league in receptions, because the yards I don't like extremely love. I think he leads the league in receptions this year, though. He almost did it 2 years ago. He nearly
second to Amon-Ra.
He nearly broke the exactly. So I think that CD to lead the league in receptions would be a lock, but you can't place it, so it's tough. All right, you want me to throw out one more? Or you want to finish this up?
Do one more, unless you don't do the one that I want to do.
Well, do yours, because I don't know what you mean by that.
How have neither of us done Aidan Hutchinson to win Defensive Player of the Year?
Sure, yeah, I like that.
750. He's well on his way to doing it last year. Well on his way to setting a franchise record in sacks last year. I expect him to do that again this year. Biggest competition, Micah Parsons. I think Jared Verse is really going to throw his name into this conversation. He's plus 1,500, which I don't think is a bad bet at all. Just kind of like one of the quietly best edge rushers in the league the second half of last season for the Rams in his rookie year. I expect a big leap from him. I expect a big leap from Will Anderson. Micah Parsons, obviously, if he just has like a good season, probably going to win it because of the narrative. But I love Hutchinson with the comeback player of the year as well. You can't parlay them. But Hutchinson plus 750 to win Defensive Player of the Year. You can take his over in sacks too. And for him to win Comeback Player of the Year, it's like plus 270. I would take both of those.
Yeah, I like that. I mean, Hutchinson, like you said, was on pace for him to get that good a value based off of what he did last year. I think it's a lock. I like that one. I mean, not a lock, but like it's good value.
989-837-6125. So the ones that we liked were Lions to win the division, Hutchinson Depoy, Liam Cohen Coach of the Year, CeeDee Lamb just anything, Nico Collins anything, and Minnesota to make the playoffs. Deal?
Sounds good.
989-837-6125. Hopefully we can make some money by the end of the NFL season. All right, when we come back, we'll take a trip around the league. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Addison Thormeyer from Farwell High School. With a 3.7 GPA, Addison is a member of the track and field and cross-country teams and played soccer for travel teams competing up in age with girls and playing with the boys.
Oh, I should go try out for the boys team. Like, why not? Because he was the coach for that team. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, worst thing that happens is they don't make the team. So I go and try out, and he ends up calling me and saying, hey, I want you to come play for me. And it became a lot of fun. Ended up being a totally different experience than playing with the girls, and one I don't regret having.
This fall, Addison is now attending Saginaw Valley State University. She'll major in electrical engineering. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Terry Johnson, President and CEO of Greater Midland.
And so spending the time at Dow just gave me such experiences professionally, personally, growth, things around travel, just experiences and opportunities that I could have never imagined even when I was in school. And so, taking the time and finalizing, okay, this is the time to tap out at Dow and to look at what's the next adventure in my journey. And Greater Midland has always been part of my journey as well, being part of the board structures for many, many years and knowing that my kids grew up in the center and my husband and I are very active and it's home for me.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Detours driving you bonkers? Ideal Party Store's got your back with the DD, Detour Discount. While the Lafayette Bridge is closed, enjoy 10% off select craft beer 6-packs and 10% off 4 bottles of select wine, 750 milliliters or more, with 2 great locations, 908 North Johnson on the east side and 401 Salzburg on the west side. Ideal Party Store makes every detour worth it. Serving Bay City since 1934, we're here to make you the life of the party.
Every Wednesday on 100.9 The Mitt on the Ben Bosscher Show, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
For the next 3 weeks, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, we are going to be sending someone to the Michigan State Spartans games for their matchups against Western Michigan, Boston College, and Youngstown State. All you have to do is be listening to the show at 10:15 and listen for that keyword to text in. Big Win Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989-837-6125). Welcome back into the Ben Bosscher Show. Went over all of our futures bets for the NFL season in the last segment. If you missed out, you can rewind on YouTube right now, or it'll be up on a podcast form a little bit after noon. If you're watching on the YouTube, go ahead and hit that subscribe button as well. What was our goal by the end of the week? Was it 380 or was it 400?
No, it was 400.
Oh.
And we just have been running it up so far since yesterday. So let's keep doing it.
Yeah, you guys have killed it. Appreciate it if you already hit that subscribe button. Send it to a friend if you like it. We're trying to get it to 400, so we need 18 more subscribers by the end of Friday. Hopefully you guys can help us out here. Appreciate it if you do. All right, with that being said, time to take a trip around the league.
It's time to zoom out and go around the league.
What's up, Kyle?
Okay, Ben. Today we have an athletic article. NFL decision makers' predictions for 2025.
Let's see if they align with some of our future predictions.
Well, let's just go through these. I haven't read these yet. I don't know if you have.
Wait, you haven't read them at all?
No, I have not read them at all.
Then let's do a little reversal in terms of how we're going to do this. I'll ask you what you think that they said, and then we can give our opinion on whether or not we think that these things are going to happen. So 30 different coaches / GMs, the decision makers, were asked who's going to win the MVP.
Oh, so these are guys in the league doing this. Okay, I thought it was kind of just like the athletic writers and
stuff. No, league
Oh.
decision makers. Really important
So
people.
like the owners.
Coaches and executives around the league.
Okay.
Who do you think they said is going to win MVP? We both kind of agreed. Well, actually, we disagreed. I said if you're going to take a long shot bet, CJ Stroud. We kind of both liked the Mahomes pick, though, of just hasn't won it in a few years, just take Mahomes to win it.
Yeah, I do kind of like it. I still think, though, if I had to pick someone, I would think Josh Allen. I think that's kind of the best value. I know it's back-to-back, so I think Allen goes back-to-back. That'd be my pick.
Well, he was second in votes. Joe Burrow atop the league with 9 of the 30 votes.
Burrow.
Yes. I mean, they're going to throw the ball 55 times a
Come
game,
on.
but you can't win MVP if you don't make the playoffs, and I don't have this as a playoff team. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, look, if Burrow didn't win it last year, when's he winning it? That's kind of what I'll say with that.
When they're a playoff team. Other guys receiving votes, Mahomes with 6, Lamar with 5. I wouldn't count out the Lamar one, too, if
And
they
then
can
I'm
win
guessing
14
0
wins.
for everyone else, probably.
No, 2 other guys got votes.
Probably Jaden Daniels.
1.
Did your boy Stroud get one?
No.
Did someone do something stupid and, throw
Yes.
Saquon Barkley in it?
No. Justin
probably
Herbert.
Hurts. Oh, Herbert.
Herbert got a vote.
Oh, God.
I love Justin Herbert, but I think that's more
Winning
of a defensive.
the MVP? Yeah,
it's a defensive-oriented team that's going to be focused around controlling the run game, controlling the time of possession.
I love Herbert too, man. I got his jersey. The guy's not winning an MVP.
You have a Herbert jersey?
I do, yeah.
Why?
Because I drafted him in the opening season of my dynasty draft. I drafted Herbert, and he wasn't supposed to play, and he did, and it worked out. And I was like, I'm buying his jersey.
You still have him in this dynasty?
Yeah, I do actually, which is kind of funny.
QB 15?
I have him and Caleb Williams now as my QBs, but I used to do a thing where I would buy a jersey of a guy off my fantasy team every year.
That's just
And
insane.
then I was in too many fantasy leagues, so now I just don't do that.
Next question. You're
Sorry.
starting you don't have to apologize. You're starting a quarterback from scratch. Who are your top 3 quarterbacks that you would take?
I'm starting a quarterback.
Starting a franchise from scratch.
Oh.
Who are the top 3 quarterbacks you would take?
Okay, so this is tough because, like, this
is insane.
Do they go the young guy route or do they go the Mahomes route? So I'll go Mahomes is probably still the pick.
Nope. People continue to get stupider and stupider.
So that means probably, like, they went the young route, and it's probably... No, they probably still pick Josh Allen, actually, right?
Josh Allen led the way with 22 votes. You know, maybe, just maybe, I'll be open to the idea of Patrick Mahomes not being the best quarterback in the NFL the year he just, like, doesn't go to a Super Bowl. But until that happens, I'm still going to have him as the number one guy.
I would agree with you there.
All I know in my life is when Mahomes is on your team, you're going to the Super Bowl.
So did they go the young guy route after that, or is it mainly just like Allen, Lamar, Mahomes?
Lamar got only 7 votes. He was 5th.
Really? So Jaden Daniels is ahead of him probably?
Yep. And Joe Burrow.
And Mahomes.
Those are your top 4. Top 5.
No Stroud love, huh?
Stroud got 2 votes. I still think the Stroud disrespect is getting crazy. Herbert got 4.
All those guys are young, too. Like, none of those guys are even old. That's the weird part.
Drake May got 2. Baker Mayfield got 2. That's a little crazy to me.
That's actually absurd. I love Baker, but wow.
Trevor Lawrence still got 1. Definitely just the Jacksonville GM. They made that decision, I would imagine.
These are some bad picks.
Bo Nix got a vote. Which I don't like. It's
Bo
even
Nix.
worse than Baker Mayfield, maybe. And then Cam Ward got 1 as well.
I just don't, like, there's no way the person that picked that truly believes that, you know?
For Bo Nix? Yeah, I'd agree.
For half those guys.
Unless Sean Payton's one of the people.
There should be 2 or 3 options for all of these. Like, the fact that there's this many guys that got votes is crazy.
Excluding quarterbacks, who will be the best offensive player in the league this season? They had 30 votes. 17 of them went to this
Is it
player.
all skill position players, basically? Like any
Yes.
offensive lineman? Yeah,
No,
okay.
no.
I would assume that Saquon gets some love based off of last season. So Saquon would be my pick.
He's second with 10.
Jamar Chase?
First with 17.
Nice.
Justin Jefferson with just 2 votes.
Any Gibbs? Any Gibbs love?
Only 4 people got votes. Derrick Henry being the last with 1.
Really? Wow. See, this would be one where I think there'd be more votes spread around, but okay.
I'm surprised CD doesn't have votes. I'm surprised Nico didn't get a vote. Justin Jefferson just like
Not surprised Nico didn't get a vote.
kind of getting thrown like behind Chase. Like, I get those 2 guys are kind of above everyone else, but I kind of still thought it was like, yeah, Jefferson's a tick better.
Yeah, I mean, Jamar Chase is just in the most ideal situation ever. I'm not saying he's bad, but, like, Jefferson is not in the same situation as Jamar Chase is.
The reason I'm going to still go with Jefferson as the guy I think is the top dog in the league is yards per route run. So, like, not just yards per reception, yards per route run. Those 2 guys are top of the league. Jefferson's still on top. In contested catch rate, Justin Jefferson wins by a lot. He has like 12% better contested catch rate for percentage points. All right, next question. Who will be the best defensive player in the league this season?
When was this made? Pre-Micah Parsons?
This week.
I'll just guess Micah Parsons, but I don't know if maybe they didn't vote for him because they didn't know if he was going to play.
Micah Parsons, 3 votes.
Yeah, that's probably why. Myles Garrett then.
17 votes, the top vote getter.
Yeah. Any Hutchinson love?
No Hutchinson love, but Jared Verse and Chris Jones both got 1 singular vote.
What? Surtain get some votes?
Nope.
Oh, so it's just the defensive end guys.
I mean, it's the most
Crosby.
important position. Yeah, Watt got 4 votes.
I mean,
But
Surtain did win the Defensive Player of the Year award last year.
I know.
Like,
But they're asking about this season. I
True.
can't believe Hutchinson didn't just get like a mention from somebody.
yeah, Verse over him? Are we being serious?
Next question for all these executives. Only 27 responses on this one. Who will be the best rookie in the league this season? No offense, no defense, just flat out the best rookie. One person clears the way here.
Travis Hunter.
Second place, 6 votes.
Really?
I mean,
Abdul
there's
Carter,
one person
then.
who's set up to succeed in a way that nobody else is.
Abdul
And
Carter?
You're right, yeah. Abdul Carter's, he's going to hit the ground running based on all those other pass rushers that New York has. Crazy hard schedule. They might not win 5 games this season, but I would be shocked if Abdul Carter didn't put up pretty insane numbers for an edge rusher as a rookie.
Yeah, I would agree. That makes sense.
Cam Ward, Tyler Warren, Colston Loveland also
No
getting
Genty
votes.
love, really?
Genty got 3 votes as
Oh,
well.
okay.
Sorry. Let's go a couple more. Who are the best offensive play callers in the NFL? 30 votes. 3 votes for each person on this one.
Ah, okay. So, like, I will just rip McVay O'Connell. I think that's 1, 2.
McVay 1, O'Connell 4.
Ooh, Ben Johnson higher than O'Connell?
3.
Nice. Kyle Shanahan, number 2?
Number 2.
Yeah.
Andy Reid falling all the way down to 5. That seems a little bit like we're just gonna.
Yeah, we're just like Going
we're
with
done
the new
playing with
wave
him.
of younger guys, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
they did a ring around the rosy and scored a touchdown. So I'm going to still go Andy Reid. Has to be 2 or 3 on this list.
That's fair.
Cliff Kingsbury, Josh McDaniel, Liam Cohen, Matt LaFleur, also all receiving votes. Nobody from the Lions coaching staff.
I mean, Johnson counts, I think, as of right now.
Sure. Defensive play callers, I'll let you give a couple guesses here.
Ooh. D'Amico Ryans. Or is it just like strictly DCs?
This looks like there's
Steve Spagnuolo.
There's offensive coordinators on there's coaches on here as well. Steve Spagnuolo was 3rd. Who did you guess?
D'Amico Ryans.
Oh, way down. Only 1 vote.
Brian Flores.
Number 2.
Oh, who gets the number 1 spot? Somebody obvious?
Yeah. Just don't let the ball get behind you. Cover 4.
The Broncos.
Too high
defense?
safety. Formerly with the Broncos.
Yeah. I'm missing on his name.
The Fangio.
Yes.
The Fangio defense.
Vic.
Don't let anything get behind
That's
you.
right.
Let's go. Name 3 teams that will exceed your expectations. Again, this is coaches and execs around the league. 3 teams with 7 votes at the top.
So
Who
I
are
would
they?
guess that it's teams that aren't supposed to be good. So I'll guess like the Patriots.
One of those teams. Yep.
The Jaguars.
Not quite one of those teams.
The Falcons.
Nope.
The 49ers.
No. They didn't even get a singular vote.
Oh, man. The Bears.
Raiders and Cardinals and Patriots are the top 3 teams supposed to exceeding expectations. And here we go. Last one. To name 3 teams that will fall short of expectations, there's one team that trumps everybody for the most votes. The Lions.
Are you serious?
The Lions get
Wow.
16 votes on the team that will fall short of expectations.
That's crazy.
These are other coaches saying this. Other GMs.
16 of 32.
Well, everyone got 3 votes each, and only
okay.
23 responded to this.
Oh, so 16 of yeah. Oh, wow.
So
That's
23
rough.
times 3,
Yeah.
69. Nice.
Yeah.
Of 69 possible votes, the Lions get the most. Commanders with 9.
Okay.
And Broncos, Bears, and Dolphins all tied with 5.
I like all 3 of those. Not the Lions, though.
I like your fade on the Broncos here last second. Because
Yeah.
I was all in on them
Yeah, I'm a
throughout
Broncos
most of the
fader,
course.
man. I was telling Ben in between, my last lock for the futures bets was Chargers to make the playoffs, Broncos to miss the playoffs, plus 230.
If they, because I love everything they've done with their roster.
The Broncos?
Yes, they're lights out roster. If you close your eyes to the
too
quarterback
heavily,
position.
Like the darling team for everyone. This happens every year. Someone says it first, and you kind of are like, oh, I could kind of see that. And then everyone does it, and then you're like, okay, now I have to fade them.
If they end up falling short of expectations, I think it's probably just because Bo Nix didn't get any better.
Could be the case, for sure.
989-837-6125. A little behind schedule today. That's totally okay. Got a lot of stuff coming up in this hour still. Bryce Underwood, is it possible for him to be the best freshman history in the Michigan program? That's next here on the Ben Bosscher Show.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Ugh, the outside of my house needs a total makeover. The siding is faded, the gutters are falling off, and the roof is leaking.
What is that falling from the sky?
Super Bresky!
Who are you?
Super Bresky!
Excuse me?
I'm here to tell you, Bresky Siding and Building Repair can fix your house in no time. All you have to do is call my dad, and your house will look as good as new.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
At Tommy's Express, you can get your car clean, shiny and dry in just minutes. Our state-of-the-art eco-friendly wash delivers a spotless finish every time. With the Tommy Club app, enjoy unlimited washes or paper wash. Skip the line with license plate recognition and manage everything right from your phone. Fast, clean, and simple. Visit Tommy's Express today and see the difference. Text CLEAN CAR to 86697 for a free works wash.
Offer valid for new guests only. By participating, you consent to receive promotional information text from Tommy's Express. Message and data rates may apply. Message frequency varies.
Broken appliance? Don't panic. Call Mr. Appliance. With a 4.9-star Google rating, our expert service professionals deliver speedy service with a 1-year done-right promise, so you can count on long-lasting repairs. We treat your home or business with care, no mess, and no trace left behind. Ask about our appliance wellness program to keep things running smoothly year-round. Visit us online at MrAppliance.com for easy online scheduling and local contact information. Mr. Appliance, speedy, trusted, guaranteed.
In every town, there's a team that brings us together. A team that stands for more than just the game. It's tradition. It's family. It's where we belong. Because this isn't just baseball. It's community. It's pride. It's home. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think the Detroit Lions are going to be worse this season, but still go 12-5 and win the NFC North. I think the Minnesota Vikings are the biggest threat to steal the NFC North from the Detroit Lions. I think we got to taper back our expectations for Bryce Underwood, with him being an 18-year-old freshman and all. I think the lack of aggression from Scott Harris at the MLB trade deadline is going to haunt the Tigers for years to come. And I think you should listen to The Ben Bosscher Show, weekdays from 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said.
This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mize stock.
America's Best takes over a new The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt, for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
Bel Air Brown, Dragon's Milk, Mad Hatter, Purple Gang, and Huma Loopalicious. These are names that let the imagination run wild and let the taste buds take a stroll. Welcome to the craft beer craze in Michigan. Bolstered by the Great Lakes and nurtured by the glacier-rich soil, here awaits a brewer's paradise. With fresh hops growing tall in the old Mission Peninsula and fresh barley fields sweeping the mitten, Michigan ranks 5th in the nation in the number of breweries, microbreweries, and brew pubs. From Good Harbor Golden to Whitefish Bay Wheat, from Motown Lager all the way to Park Bench Porter, Michigan is serving up a frosty glass of perfection. Whether you want to take in a game with a Two-Hearted Ale or just sit on a front porch sipping a Steelhead Red, let's tap into life at its fullest and treat ourselves to a taste that's pure Michigan. Your trip begins at Michigan.org.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989-837-6125). Higher Standard Automotive. I mean, the name says it all. Honest, reliable auto repair done the right way the first time. If you're out of town this weekend, the car started to have some trouble, make some weird noise, you got to bring it into these guys. Locally owned and operated, serving Midland with expert service and small town integrity, from oil changes to brake jobs to diagnostics, major repairs. They handle it all with precision and care. ASE certified techs, fair pricing, and a commitment to doing things the right way the first time, because your car deserves better than just good enough. Drive with confidence or choose Higher Standard Automotive. Kyle Sandel, I think there's actually a possibility that Michigan, based on the season that they have, it's very much on the table. It's very much in play that Bryce Underwood ends up being the best freshman to ever come through the Michigan football program. If Bryce Underwood wanted to be the best freshman to ever go through the Michigan football program, true freshman that is, he'd have to probably pass Chad Henne in 2004. Who threw for 2,700 yards, 25 touchdowns, won a Big Ten title, got to the Rose Bowl. Still holds the record for most passing touchdowns in a freshman season. Based on how much Michigan runs the ball and how much, they want to dominate on the ground, I think it's going to be near impossible for Bryce Underwood to get to 25 touchdowns. But those 2,700 yards, that's the record for Chad Henne, that totally seems like it's on the table. Actually, it's not the record, but those 2,700 yards that Chad Henne had as a true freshman, that seems very much on the table for Bryce Underwood to achieve. I mean, he had 250 in the opener. He's probably going to have more than 12 games this season, I'd imagine, whether that's Big Ten Championship, playoffs, bowl game, whatever. He's going to have a chance to do it. I wouldn't be shocked if Bryce Underwood had 3,000 yards this year. Based on game number 1, they're clearly going to rely on his arm more so than they even did with J.J. McCarthy when he was a young freshman, in which he didn't have a starting job that early on. Even when they did want to put J.J. into the lineup and make that transition, it took a couple games because remember they did the whole, is it Cade's offense? Is it J.J.'s offense?
McCarthy would come in just to do like a bootleg, like play action run, basically.
There's no one threatening to take this job from Bryce Underwood at any point this season. He is the guy here. That's what happens when you get the $12 million deal. There's totally an avenue for him to walk down, and by the end of the season, he's considered the best freshman in the history of the program. And I honestly think that kind of should be the expectation at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's going to be tough to pass Henne just because of like the legendary status he already has, like in the Michigan realm. Like not even just as obviously his freshman season, just in general. Like legitimately maybe the best quarterback to ever play in the program. So like you said, the touchdowns thing really plays into this. The yards, I don't know. It just depends on how much different this Michigan offense wants to attack this season now that they have this quarterback. Because we can talk about how, yeah, they've been this run-heavy attack offense for years now under both Sharon Moore and Jim Harbaugh. But they also didn't have a guy like Bryce Underwood, you know? Like, even, and I'm not saying he's better than McCarthy, but it's just like they're different guys, you know? So
it's also a different head coach.
Right, it is a different head coach. And just last year it was run attack strictly because of the options that they had available to them. So I don't know. I still think it's going to be difficult for him to at least statistically do it. And, like, they would have to do some damage. They would have to go 10-2, probably beat Ohio State, probably.
Well, I mean, if they beat Ohio State, they're probably going better than 10-2.
True, good point. He would have to do some good stuff as far as winning games and doing something in the playoff as well. Like maybe getting to the quarterfinals of the playoff, getting to the semifinals of the playoff. Like that's the type of thing he would have to do, I think, to have the best freshman season in Michigan history. But as far as like how the offense is going to be set up for him, I think it's a question mark that's up in the air right now. Like maybe they do decide to switch things up just because of how dynamic he is as a quarterback.
JJ was always one of those guys that, like, even coming into the NFL now, it's like, can read a defense to a very high standard compared to most rookies, or I guess he's a second-year guy, but, like, always could read a defense, but his objective was kind of just to always run the offense, you know, in the way that Jim Harbaugh wanted it to be run. With Bryce Underwood, it feels like they're kind of giving him the keys. Being like, how do you want to run this thing? And we're going to coach you up and kind of give you the structure, and here are the lanes to stay in, but they clearly trust, like, I don't know. I watched the Texas game at noon, and then I watched the Michigan game at 7. It felt like the Michigan offense was, and, you know, maybe this is a terrible thing to compare because Texas was in the shoe playing the number one defense in the country, but one team trusted their quarterback more just based on the play calling than the other team did. Like, Michigan was very comfortable letting Bryce Underwood operate in any way, like in really every way. There was dropbacks, there was shotgun, there was rollouts, there's play action, there's bootlegs. He was doing everything. It's not like they were closing the playbook to where they only wanted to do this. Like, it wasn't necessarily a boring offense to open up. Now, they weren't running trick plays or anything like that. They're going to save those, but they're letting him work with a lot more than typically a true freshman quarterback would be allowed to work with. Usually they try to dumb down the offense for guys like this or guys that are true freshmen. But Bryce Underwood is not a normal true freshman. They're completely unveiling the playbook for him, it feels like. And he took on the challenge against New Mexico State and did it pretty well. We'll see what happens this week against Oklahoma. 989-837-6125. It's the Ben Bosscher Show live on 100.9 The Mitt. If you haven't hit that like and subscribe button on YouTube yet, we'd appreciate it. If you just take a second and do that, helps the channel grow in a big way, helps get that content out for other people who enjoy this Michigan sports-based content. Michigan State, the 4 pro teams as well. Speaking of the 4 pro teams, got another Tigers game today. Let's talk about that when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Sarah Stockford, host of 100.9 The Mitt Success Suite, a podcast highlighting the most inspiring female leaders across the Great Lakes Bay region. This month, we spoke with Terry Johnson, President and CEO of Greater Midland. What faced the most challenges for you? Like, is there a certain role that you were like, you know, public, I know you said public affairs, but there was a certain time period or maybe even a certain event where you're like, okay, this is a challenge I can now take with me throughout my entire career, or any advice that you have for like young professionals that you learned maybe from like a certain lesson?
Yeah, 2 things come to mind. One, for a period of my Dow career, I managed crisis communications. So Nothing's more challenging or a better learning opportunity is when you're kind of feet in the fire, when there's things going on.
Listen to the full episode on YouTube at 100.9 The Mitt. Subscribe and hit the notification button to be alerted when new episodes drop. That's Success Suite with Sarah Stockford.
Hey sports fans, heading up north? Whether you're gearing up for the big game, hosting friends, or winding down after a long day, Hops and Schnapps is your ultimate beverage destination. With one of the largest selections of beer, wine, and spirits in Michigan featuring over 1,000 options from around the globe, we're your beverage experts. Plus, our friendly team is here to help you find the perfect pick. Visit us in Standish, Grayling, and Gaylord today. Hops and Schnapps, raise your glass, raise your spirits.
At First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, floors don't just get coated, they get a makeover. Epoxy's so tough, it shrugs off spills, stains, and even your wildest dance moves. Garages, workshops, anywhere you want a floor that's smooth, shiny, and just a little bit sassy, they handle it all with style. No more boring floors. Get ready to impress everyone who walks through the door. Slide into durability and flair. First Class Epoxy Floor and Counter, where your floors get the VIP treatment they didn't know they needed.
Something's in the water.
Dude, it's in your mouth.
I can't see it, but I feel it.
This summer, from the people who brought you floss and fluoride, gum disease, the silent bite.
Ah! Why didn't anyone warn me?
We did. At Scott Family Dental, you may not see the problem, but we can. No insurance contracts and a team that treats you like family.
So no jaws, just gentle cleanings?
Exactly. But skip your checkup and you might need a bigger toothbrush.
Scott Family Dental. Catch the problems before they bite. Book now at scottfamdental.com.
Do you see yourself traveling, working part-time, or moving somewhere warmer when you retire? I'm Kevin Spencer, your Midland Edward Jones financial advisor, and I want to help make your retirement goals a reality. Let's talk about where you are, where you want to be, and how you'll get there. Together, we can plan for the expected and make sure you're ready for the unexpected.
Search Edward Jones Financial Advisor Kevin Spencer on Facebook. 416 West Wackerly in Midland, under the green awning. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
In every town, there's a team that brings us together. A team that stands for more than just the game. It's tradition. It's family. It's where we belong. Because this isn't just baseball. It's community. It's pride. It's home. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
Scrolling? Make it count. Want local sports content that actually matters?
Yeah.
100.9 The Mitt is loaded with local highlights, viral plays, breaking sports news, and takes you can't get enough of.
It's hot!
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube today, and you'll never be out of the loop on the Lions, Tigers, Pistons, Red Wings, Michigan State, and even the biggest stories in high school sports in the Great Lakes Bay region. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader. We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Loons. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Welcome back in. It's the Ben Bosscher Show. Hope you guys are enjoying this. Man, we're getting ready for some Lions football. I wanted to talk about the Tigers here. We're going to put a quick pause on that, recircle back to that in the 11 o'clock hour, because on Good Morning Football this morning, Kyle Brandt. This is a show I like. This is one of the national shows I really enjoy on NFL Network. They usually have they do a good job of making it fun. You know what I mean? But Kyle Brandt picked the Bears to win the NFC North this morning, and I just saw that during a break. And what are we doing? Like, seriously, what are we doing? There's no way you can look in front of a camera and legitimately believe that the Bears are going to win the NFC North, right? Like, there's actually people who believe this?
I could see it maybe 4 months ago. Like, not saying I would do it, but I could see you, like, laying out the case for it.
Before the horror stories out of camp?
Yeah, before they went from, like, plus 300 to win the division to now plus 600. Like, they are clearly favored to be last in the division. It's not even really close. Yeah, I don't really know, man. There's a difference between, like, making a zag pick and trying to fade what everyone else is doing and be unique. And,
we all do that.
Yeah, exactly. But
you can't go chalk
then there's
everywhere.
this. Then there's this. You know, then there is picking something that you truly don't believe is going to happen. Which, like, the Bears do have the lowest last place odds to win the division, if that makes sense.
Like the shortest odds to
for being the fourth team in the division, they have the shortest odds.
More than the
600.
West?
Oh no, excuse me. Yeah, the Seahawks are plus 550.
And what did you say the Bears
they're
were?
Fourth, 600.
There's just too many horror stories out of camp for me to, like, believe anything positive is going to come from this Bears season. I mean, like, they'll be better than last year. It'd be pretty hard to be worse. But, like, I'm not picking them to beat Minnesota on Monday. You see that line flipped, by the way?
That's a little different. Why? Is Minnesota now favorites?
Yeah, 1.5. It's flipped a whole 1.5. Or I guess 3 total points. Because
the Bears could win that game, though. I mean, like, that has nothing to do with week 1. It's at home.
I feel very – I can tell you this with confidence. On Monday when that show rolls around, Minnesota minus 1.5 is probably going to be my lock of the day.
Wow.
We've been talking about Minnesota this entire offseason about how much you and I both like them.
Yeah,
I'm not going to just all of a sudden fade them week 1.
Your Monday Night Football picks, too, just been locks so far.
Well, there hasn't been any Monday Night Football picks.
There was last night, though.
Oh, right. Yeah, North Carolina got absolutely dumped on. Oh, my God. I can't believe I fell for that Bill Belichick trap. And you know what? I actually can believe it. There was so much evidence that this was going to work.
No, there wasn't. Dude.
So much.
There was actually so much
piles of evidence.
There was so much evidence that it was not going to work, actually. I would argue that.
That football team was just bad last night. It's just like bad football being played.
It truly was, yeah.
You know who else plays bad football? The Bears. The Bears do. There's never been a season you can point to where it's like, great football all year long, other than the one Mitch Trubisky season. I can't believe Kyle Brandt picked, and I respect Kyle Brandt a lot. It's not like I lost any respect for him for making this pick.
Yeah,
but
I mean, whatever.
Come on, this is the last place team in the North, right? Like, what are we talking? They are so significantly far back from the other 3 teams in my eyes. And that's even if they do take a step forward.
And this is after Micah Parsons' trade, by the way. So, like, their chances of winning the division just got worse with that, obviously.
And this is me thinking they're going to be a much improved team from last season. Like, they're not going to be incompetent for 18 weeks and have 3 different play callers throughout the course of the season. That alone should make them better. Like, consistency and parity for Caleb Williams rather than a constantly ever-changing group of leaders in that front office. That, to me, is going to make them better naturally. I still think they're 2 levels below everyone else in this division. And that more so speaks to the rest of the division than it does to Ben Johnson and the Bears. But, man, we don't know anything about Ben Johnson being a leader with this team. We know his ability to call plays, but can he not repeat, but, like, can he replicate in any way the Lions culture and get that going for everybody in Chicago? Because, man, if there's one thing that Chicago lacked last season, it was a buy-in from the entire group of players. Like, we had DJ Moore just walk off the field in the middle of a play. You remember that? Caleb Williams is running around for his life, and DJ Moore was just like, I'm done with this. They need to show that they can fix that before I'm ready to even consider them winners for the NFC North.
And I think even if you feel confident in Ben Johnson and you feel confident in, like, yeah, he's going to be the long-term coach of the Bears. They're going to turn this thing around. It's just probably not going to happen in year 1.
Not in this division.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The division's too hard, and Caleb Williams still has a lot of improvements to make based off of his rookie season. They're a young group. Yeah, they made some good, like, in-structural moves to kind of build up this team on the offensive line, to build up their secondary. They have a pretty good secondary, I would say. But at the end of the day, like, they are just for sure the worst roster in this division, led by a first-year head coach, led by, I still think, kind of a question mark at quarterback right now. I think, like, going forward, you expect Caleb Williams to become a good quarterback someday. We just haven't seen it yet. And I think Ben Johnson is the answer for the Bears. I really do. I think he'll be their coach for a long time. But it's year one. I think next year is the year where you really could be like, the Bears could win the division, but not this season, no.
Caleb Williams had 0 votes in that poll we looked at earlier from coaches and execs around the league of quarterbacks you'd want to start your franchise with. If you'd have done that a year ago today,
yeah, he'd have gotten votes.
He might have been the number 1 guy.
No, that's crazy. But
okay, he would have been a top 5 guy.
Sure.
God, the way that we viewed this guy coming into the draft was like he was going to take over year one and be fantastic. And honestly, he got put into a situation that was pretty good, and it still ended up being a disaster. So
what if the Panthers end up winning that trade? Like DJ Moore flames out.
I don't think they're eligible to win that trade because of the Bryce Young pick.
Well, but that's what I'm saying. What if Bryce Young all of a sudden ends up becoming a stud and Caleb doesn't, and all of a sudden it's just like, wow, what we thought was legitimately one of the worst deals ever at the time, now all of a sudden might actually not be that bad. I just
don't know why they had to give up DJ Moore in that deal. They got 2 first-round picks. They had to give up
and a second.
And then what, Chicago took Loveland with that pick, or was that their own?
No, I think that was this year's second, actually. I think it was the Burden pick this year.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
I believe. I could be wrong, though.
I'll revisit in the break. 989-837-6125. Your takeaways from this weekend, Bryce Underwood, Aidan, Chiles, and then I wanted to look at next week's college football slate. All coming up here in the 11 o'clock hour on The Ben Bosscher Show.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Near, on the wall, whose house is the nicest on the block of them all?
Not yours.
What do you mean?
Your siding is faded, your gutters are falling off, and you have shingles missing. I suggest you call Bresky Siding and Building Repair.
I'm going to call Bresky Siding and Building Repair right now. Near, on the wall, now whose house is the nicest of them all?
Yours is, kind sir, yours is.
Call me, Derek Bresky, at Bresky Siding and Building Repair today.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
Ace Hardware and Sports in downtown Midland has some extra savings for rewards members this month. Got house projects you push till the fall? Get the right tools. Select Milwaukee Power Tools. Buy one, get one free, including the brushless drill and impact driver kit. Keep that deck looking brand spanking new. Save $5 instantly on Thompson's Water Seal Wood Sealer and $10 on a gallon of cabinet exterior stain. And download the ACE app and get a $10 instant bonus.
The Michigan Baseball Foundation is more than just baseball. It's a driver of economic growth and community. Operating one of the nation's top minor league stadiums, MBF supports job creation and regional development. Through creative partnerships and charitable giving, MBF has helped bring projects like Dow Diamond, the East End Development, Fairfield Inn and Suites, the Plaza, and the Dow Bay Area Family YMCA to life, generating over $23 million annually in economic impact. Every Great Lakes Loons ticket supports these efforts. Learn more at MichiganBaseballFoundation.org.
From Midland to Bay City, Saginaw to Sanford, from Frankenmuth, Freeland, and Hemlock to Auburn, Essexville, and Pinconning, 100.9 The Mitt is the heartbeat of the Great Lakes Bay region, and proud of it. We're your home for local sports, local stories, and local pride. Whether you're in Birch Run, Beaverton, Gladwin, Chesaning, or Coleman, football, basketball, hockey, Spartans, NFL, Loons, all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan's sports leader.
Have you noticed bad behavior has become normalized at interscholastic athletic events? Some fans seem angry. They lack civility toward one another. Some even get aggressive and unruly. Time out! What is going on? This has to stop. Let's not forget, school sports aren't just about winning. And they're definitely not an excuse to take your frustrations out on the official or the opponent. They're about teaching lessons like perseverance, respect, and empathy, so students can learn and grow as people, not just as players. We all have a role to play in setting a good example for our students and teaching them these important values. So fans, it's time to step up your game and behave positively at interscholastic athletic events in Michigan.
This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
From the Blasey Electric Studios, This is Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. WLUN, Pinconning Bay City, Saginaw, Midland.
Hour number 3 here on a Tuesday. Let's get rocking and rolling once again. Look, we just had another coach on the Detroit Lions just absolutely buy into the hype of one certain player on the defensive side of the ball who is bound to take a big leap forward. I'll tell you who that is coming up here on the show. But right now, I do want to touch one more time on this Bryce Underwood thing before we move on to a Micah Parsons issue, and then we're going to guess some lines for week 2 of the college football slate. But let's start with the Bryce Underwood thing. Look, that was one of the best freshman performances I can remember here for Michigan. I think there's a chance that this guy ends up being the best freshman quarterback to ever play for Michigan. He passed every test with flying colors. The best 2 things I can point to, or I guess 3 things. I'll go here. The 2-minute drill before halftime. 5 for 5, 60 yards and a touchdown. I mean, he's throwing bullet passes over in the middle of the field, fitting into these really small windows in which, to protect one of his wide receivers from getting absolutely flatlined, he kind of makes him have to, not stop in a way, but like slow down to catch a ball right here. That was some elite stuff. The touch pass to his tight end on the left side of the field is great stuff. Right out of halftime in basically his own end zone, left side of the field once again, that soft touch pass overneath. Like, he did everything you could have possibly asked for an 18-year-old quarterback and more. I've emphasized this a lot this offseason that you got to, taper back your expectations a little bit, knowing that all these quarterbacks that we think are going to win the Heisman and that come in with the most experience, these are the guys that dominate college football in 2025. Guys like Cade Klubnik, who are in their 5th season. Guys like Garrett Nussmeier, who are in their 4th season. It's being able to play and the experience that matters more than anything right now. And with Bryce Underwood, I was just a little nervous that this was going to, have some bumps and have some road bumps along his freshman season. That wasn't the case at all. There was no road bumps on Saturday. Then there was a couple throws that you don't love, but 0 turnover-worthy plays at the end of the day per PFF. It was fantastic. This week, even a bigger test, one that Michigan fans, you should be totally excited to see against Oklahoma. Now, as for the Micah Parsons thing, we did find out that Micah Parsons is planning to play versus the Lions. There was all this talk of, he didn't participate in training camp. Is his body up to speed? Turns out he really was dealing with a disc, like some sort of back injury with this L5, L4 disc in his back. I don't know. I'm not a doctor, but he plans on playing. And, whether or not he's going to be 100% is TBD, but it sounded like they were, worst case scenario, going to shoot him up, have him ready to go. Yep. And based on some of the reports that Rappaport had yesterday of, I'd bet on this to happen. Sounds like he's just going to be ready to go for this Lions game on Sunday, whether or not he's 100% or not, whether or not he's in the limited role or not. He's going to find a way to help out his new team because he wants to play.
Yeah, I mean, that shouldn't really be a shock to anyone, right?
No.
I mean, just based on how he kind of operated this offseason with the Cowboys, we all know that the injury stuff wasn't taking priority. Like, the injury stuff was serious, like it was a real injury, but we all know that the contract stuff took precedent to that. And so once he got traded to Green Bay, he's obviously going to be all in with this new team. So I don't think it should be a shock. I'm excited to see Micah Parsons play against the Lions week 1. I think it's going to be fun. I'd rather play him in week 1 than play him for the first time in week 5 or 6. So, yeah, I think that this is going to be a kind of a Parsons v. Hutchinson thing. I think it's going to be fun for week 1.
Is it a Parsons versus
I'd rather him
Hutchinson
play.
thing?
I would rather him play than not, honestly.
I don't know if I can get behind that.
Just for the storyline of everything. I think it's cool.
I don't care about the storylines. I want to win games.
Well, I mean, I still think they can win. I just think Parsons' first game with Green Bay being against Detroit, I like that. I think it's fun. I'm here for it.
I'm here for the Penei Sewell versus Micah Parsons reps.
Well, yeah.
But I have a feeling they're just going to be like,
probably
hey, Micah.
avoid that. Yeah, I mean, right? Why would they just send him at Sewell every time?
That's you know what really scares me, though? And this is what Dallas used to do pretty effectively. And this is kind of when I think I've said this multiple times throughout the past, few months. I think I've said it more than once over the past week. So Micah Parsons basically invented a new position. It's like this hybrid edge linebacker role. What Dallas did a really good job of doing with him was a stand-up linebacker basically in the A-gap. And you basically use your 2 tackles to generate a one-on-one look with your center. I wouldn't be surprised if they line this guy up over Tate Ratledge and basically over the middle of the three guys between Glasgow and Ratledge and Mahogany and let him really get, basically try to generate some one-on-one reps with Mahogany and Ratledge and maybe Glasgow for that matter too with their defensive tackles. Because I have a feeling he's dominating that matchup. And if he's getting through the middle, Jared Goff's going to have a pretty tough time. You're going to have to run some bubble screens or something for Amon-Ra or J-Mo to get the ball out as quickly as possible. Maybe the way you counter that is with just running directly at him because his PFF grades have dropped in terms of the run defense stuff each of the last 4 seasons. Not to say he's a bad run defender, but do not be surprised if you see this guy lined up over the middle of the field trying to generate one-on-one looks with the interior guys because that's obviously the Lions' Achilles heel right now.
Yeah.
Maybe not Achilles heel, but the question mark on their offensive line.
That's the part you're most concerned about. Yeah, for sure.
It's the vulnerability.
You see Micah's rocking number 1 with Green Bay.
Yeah.
No longer the 11.
I did see that.
Kind of tough.
It is kind of tough. J-Mo's number 1, right?
Yes.
J-Mo's number 1. Yeah, it's going to be a really fun week 1. It's a good thing that it's the CBS game. You get Nance and Romo. You get all the storylines.
Yeah, it's got to be on TV, yeah.
Do you think if they could redo it, this would be one of the primetime games? If they would have known Micah Parsons was going to be a Packer?
Yeah.
That's probably the primetime game over Caleb and
Probably,
and
but
JJ
that's not
night.
a Monday nighter, though. I think they would rather have that. Yeah, but the Bills-Ravens just has to get Sunday night.
Yeah, that's the ultimate Sunday night game. Or do you think it just would have been the Thursday night open?
But the Lions also are on Monday night week 2, correct?
No, week 3 against the Ravens.
Or they're on Sunday night week 2. I think that's what it is.
Are they?
Let me pull it up really quick.
No, I don't think they have Sunday night until Kansas City.
I thought week 2 against Chicago was prime time.
Is it?
Am I dumb?
I don't think it is. I could be wrong.
No, I'm not. Yeah, I'm dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, week 2 against Chicago is just a regular 1 o'clock game. Monday night, week 3 against Baltimore. So, yeah. Because I was going to think, well, they wouldn't have the Lions versus Chicago, with Chicago back-to-back primetime games. But, yeah, they definitely could have done Lions versus Green Bay, which it is game of the week. It's on CBS 425. It is in a primetime slot. It's just obviously not the.
It's not an island game.
Exactly. Yeah.
That could have been one. Nah, that could have been one that they sent overseas too. I'm still so shocked.
Maybe the Black Friday game could have done that. Or not the Black Friday game, just the Friday game. I don't know why I called it Black Friday.
Yeah, that one's overseas. It's in Brazil. That's what I'm saying.
I guess it's when you say overseas, when you're referring to South America, that just is not right. Overseas is Europe and Africa.
Then what would that be called?
Down south? I don't know. You could just say in Brazil.
Yeah.
Is it in Brazil this year?
Yeah. I think it's on that same crappy field that they played on last year where everyone...
Is it actually?
I think so.
Why did I think it was in Mexico City?
No, I think there might be a Mexico City game in the NBA. That sounds a little bit more right.
Oh, yeah, I forgot because this game's on YouTube, the Chiefs-Chargers game.
Free on YouTube.
It's free on YouTube, yeah.
Do we know who's calling this game?
I would assume it's just some freelancer. It's going to be somebody good, I would assume. I remember when this got announced and people were frustrated by this. Oh, great,
the easiest game to watch.
Another network that this game's on. Guys, this is actually the only game of the entire year that you'll be able to watch completely free. You don't even have to have a YouTube account to watch this. It is legitimately the easiest way to ever watch a football game.
Oh, it's Rich Eisen and Kurt Warner.
Nice.
They hired the NFL Network guys.
Makes sense. Now ESPN guys, technically.
Yeah.
I like Rich Eisen. Don't love him during the games. I will say that.
I think he's perfect for the morning overseas games.
Yeah.
Because it's just bad football being played. He's not bringing too much energy.
Doesn't get very excited. Yeah, exactly.
It's perfect for the 9 o'clock games.
Sure.
This is a little bit different. I kind of agree with
That's
you.
fair.
Can
I do one more quick Bryce Underwood thing? I know that we're not talking about that anymore.
Sure.
But something just popped into my head when you were talking about it before you shifted gears. Does this add more pressure to Bryce Underwood, how he played in week 1? Not saying it's worse for him or Michigan, but we talked about all the pressure that's on him coming into the season, and I almost feel like there is now more pressure on him because of how good he played week 1. Because we've seen it.
He gave himself a C grade in his press conference after the game, so I'm going to say no.
Because I just feel like all that this ceiling talk has been raised for Michigan, and now people are Michigan actually could be really good this season now that we've seen Bryce Underwood play good. Whereas if he comes out week 2 and doesn't perform, and all of a sudden the pressure level I think has gone up for him.
Externally, yeah, you might be right. I think the pressure level has gone up.
Yeah, not internally.
But
yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think this kid is like, a lot of times with these number one guys, they've just had so much pressure on them from a very young age. And this goes one of two ways, where you get treated like the number one guy for so long, and then you just kind of like start to believe it, and then you fade out pretty quickly, and the world forgets about you. Or you just learn to ignore it and block everything out. And, Underwood saying that he, gave himself a C, and I think the fact that he's been under the limelight this entire time and the whole LSU debacle too, I don't think he cares what people think. I don't think he feels this pressure externally.
No, I don't think so either. I just think maybe
I think he's wired the right way.
Yeah, I would say that it seems that way for sure. Nathan in the YouTube chat saying, let's wait to crown him the GOAT until he plays against a real defense. Let's talk after Ohio State.
Well, we're gonna have to talk about Bryce Underwood from now until Ohio State. I hate to break it to you,
let's
Nathan.
not bring him up the whole season.
No one's calling him the GOAT. We're just like,
I mean, you called him the GOAT freshman potentially. That's the GOAT of something.
But is that not on the table? Like, he's the highest recruit Michigan's ever had in the history of the program, regardless of position.
It's on the table.
There should be some sort of expectation or hope that he does become the best freshman quarterback of all time.
Yeah, but I think, like, to Nathan's point, let's wait to crown him that until after Ohio State. Let's not crown him that in week 2. We're not calling him the best freshman ever in week 2.
I didn't say that.
No
I said
way.
it's open to, like,
you
it's
said how
possible
about
to happen.
Oklahoma?
Yeah, he said let's not talk about.
No,
okay.
Let's not crown him.
Okay.
I think he's making a fair point.
I refuse to pump the brakes on this, though. All aboard the Bryce Underwood hype train.
But can anything happen to have you pump the brakes? Like next week, if they lose and it's just like struggle fest I'm not like wishing this to happen. I'm not putting it out in the air, but like in the hypothetical world that it does happen, are you just like, nah, I don't really care. I still think he's going to be the best freshman ever. I still think he's
if he sucks, obviously we'll pump the brakes a little bit. But like until Saturday, I think it's all gas, no brakes.
You feel good about going into Saturday.
Yes.
Yeah.
I feel very good about going into Saturday. 989-837-6125. Let's play a little game. It's called Guess the Lines College Football Edition for this Saturday's games. It's Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt. Linked Technologies. Stay secure, stay connected, and stay ahead with Linked Technologies. Your local IT experts here in Midland. From small businesses to large operations, they provide tech solutions that actually make your life a little bit easier. Specializing in networking, cybersecurity, cloud services, and managed IT support all under one roof. Fast, reliable service with people who speak your language. Whether you're upgrading, protecting, or troubleshooting, Linked Technologies keeps your systems running smooth. Visit linkedtechsolutions.com and see how they can help your business work smarter and not harder. This is the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt on YouTube and Facebook as well. I'm watching that subscriber count throughout the subscriber number continue to grow throughout the show. 384 right now. We said our goal was 400 by the end of the week. Would really appreciate it if you hit that button. If you're listening right now and haven't been subscribed yet, go hit that button. Only takes a second. Totally free on YouTube. And hopefully we can get that goal before Friday. Maybe that's the new goal. All right, it's the Ben Bosscher Show. Guess the Lines College Football Edition when we come back here on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
Great Lakes has reached the final week of the regular season after closing out their 2025 home schedule on Sunday. The Loons split with the Whitecaps 3 games apiece after losing 7-2 on Sunday, but a big highlight from the final homestand was Adam Serwanowski striking out 12 on Friday night.
The 0-2. Cold strike 3. There it is, a dozen tonight for Adam Serwanowski. He confidently marches off the mound. This 21-year-old carving up one of the best offenses in the minor leagues this year.
Great Lakes is now playing for postseason play, facing off against the team that is a half game up on them right now for that final playoff spot, Lake County. The Loons need 4 of 6 to advance to the postseason. You're not going to want to miss this final 6-game series with Lake County, and it all starts Tuesday night. First pitch at 6:35, pregame at 6:20 here on The Mitt.
Discover championship golf with amazing views at Apple Mountain in Freeland. Whether you're chasing birdies or just out for a relaxing round, Apple Mountain offers a stunning 18-hole experience for every skill level. Perfect greens, scenic fairways, and a course that plays as beautifully as it looks. Book your tee time now at applemountain.com. Apple Mountain. Golf elevated. Just minutes from Saginaw, but miles from the ordinary.
Hey, did you guys catch anything yet?
Not a thing.
Ah, bummer, neither have we. I'm actually just about to head into town. I'm going to go into Higher Standards Automotive. They got this award-winning service department with amazing technicians and this large parts department in case I want to fix it myself. They got the part there.
Whatever.
No, I'm serious, man. It's out there.
Yeah, just like when you tried to convince me Bigfoot was real.
Ray?
Bigfoot's behind me, isn't he?
Yeah, we got it. Run! Get out! Stop into Higher Standards Automotive, North Eastman Road in Midland, right past the mall.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the local job market. We're here in person. And we're locally owned, so you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at Spherion.com to find your local Spherion office. Let's get to work.
For 100 years, Forward Energy has been more than just a home heat and fuel provider. We've been a part of your community, and you've been a part of our family through every storm, every season, and every moment. We've been right here, keeping you warm and safe. As your hometown energy provider, we deliver more than just propane. We deliver peace of mind with reliable service, quality you can count on, and a commitment to always being there when you need us most. Forward Energy, 100 years strong, fueled by family, powered by community.
We're in your town, your school, your huddle. 100.9 The Mitt is here for sports fans in the Great Lakes Bay region. From the hardwoods of Saginaw to Midland's Friday Night Lights. From the streets of Bay City to Freeland, Frankenmuth, and Hemlock. We roll through Beaverton, Auburn, Pinconning, Essexville, and Shepherd. All the way to Gladwin, Birch Run, Coleman, and Bridgeport. This is your sports station. High school, college, NFL, the Looms. It's all right here. 100.9 The Mitt, Mid-Michigan sports leader.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mid.
(989-837-6125). All right, Kyle. This is something new that we haven't done yet, but I wanted to test this out, see if this could be a fun segment throughout the college football season. I like looking at the lines early, and maybe we can take turns on who's guessing and who's coming through, or we could both guess the way that we know some other people do it. But looking at the college football spreads for this weekend, there's not a lot of great matchups other than the Michigan-Oklahoma one, and I think we already announced the spread on yesterday's show. But I was going to read a couple of these and just have you kind of guess as to where the spread is.
Okay. Let's do it. Yeah, I do know the Michigan one. I will be honest with you there.
That one's still 6.5, correct? Yeah.
I think it's 5.5.
Oh, it's down.
Is it 6.5? I checked it last night.
It's plus 5.5 now.
Okay, yeah, I thought it was 5.5. Yeah.
Okay, people are betting Michigan.
Interesting.
How about the Michigan State one? Michigan State, Boston College, Sparty home, night game in Spartan Stadium.
Boston College, not as good of a team this season. I believe last year this spread was relatively tight, but BC was favored because it was at their place. They were a better team last year as well. I think they were like 3 or 4 point favorites. I would assume State's favorites, but it can't be by a ton. They probably just go with the classic, I'll go 3 on the dot, 3 point favorites for State.
3.5 point favorites.
Ooh, see,
for
I was going to
Sparty.
go 2.5.
It's pretty close.
Okay.
With juice on Boston College.
Yeah, State should win this game, man. That's a game that State has to win.
I love must-win games in week 2. Central Michigan at Pittsburgh.
I mean, I know this one.
Oh, you do?
Of course, I know this one. This is what I was looking for all week. As soon as CMU beat San Jose State.
All right, what is it then?
Okay, actually, I need to remember what it is, and I need to refresh my brain. I believe it was 21.5.
That's correct. Heading down to Pittsburgh, taking on the ACC.
Low-key, kind of low, right? I figured it'd be higher.
Maybe Vegas knows something about CMU.
Ooh, I mean, they were 12.5 point 13, actually. It ended up being San Jose State, so just a touchdown more against Pitt. Kind of crazy.
All right, how about the team you saw in person last week? San Jose State taking on
Texas, yeah.
Texas, who's number one still, but obviously bound to change here soon.
Yeah, they're playing Texas with a vengeance. We should be getting the new AP poll here at noon, I think, by the way.
Yeah, usually they come out at noon.
Texas probably fall, 4 or 5?
I don't know.
Probably
I don't
not.
know how they'll treat that.
They probably can't fall that far. Look, Texas is going to be playing with vengeance coming off of a loss. San Jose State looked rough. Their number one receiver got injured in the game as well. Don't know if he's injured long-term or not. This has got to be a near 40-pointer, I would guess. 35.5. That's where I'll
Nice
go.
guess. 36.5.
Ooh,
Are you saying
on.
like just take Texas to take out all their anger on San Jose State?
Yeah, like they're just going to destroy them. Like after losing to Ohio State, like San Jose State, maybe they're playing with vengeance too because they got upset on their own home field week 1, but you're also playing against Texas, so.
Good luck. You already mentioned the Illinois-Duke one. Illinois 2.5-point favorites going on the road. Number 12 Illinois taking on Duke. So we'll skip over that.
Yep,
Not a lot of other like great matchups this weekend. Maybe I picked a bad week to do this. Let's go with Ole Miss, ranked team, against Kentucky, one of the worst teams in the SEC.
Oh, Kentucky just beaten Toledo by, I think, a touchdown last week.
And I'll tell you this, Kentucky was 10-point favorites against Toledo.
And Ole Miss absolutely stomped, Georgia Southern or Georgia State, one of the Georgia schools. Shout out Trinidad Chambliss from Ferris State, got in for that game. Anyways. Is it going to be quite 20 in a conference game?
It's in Kentucky. Remember that.
Oh, it's in Kentucky. Ooh.
SEC matchups in week 2. You got to love that.
Sway me too much. Okay, it's not going to be 20 points then, I don't think. I'll go 16.5, Ole Miss.
Only 10.
Really?
Only 10.
I guess because they're on the road. Yeah, that's fair. But Kentucky, like you said, bottom feeder of the SEC this year should be.
All right, here's a sneaky good game. We saw South Florida absolutely take it to Boise State.
Yeah, what was the final of that? What did that end up being?
It got ugly. It got really ugly. They're, I don't know if they're going north. I would imagine they have to go north if they're South Florida. But they're taking on Florida in the swamp, Tallahassee.
And how big did Florida win? I'm just trying to think.
Florida
I don't want to look it up and accidentally see the line for their second game.
Florida won 55-0. DJ Lagway balled out.
That's right. Yeah, I didn't play very much. Okay, so South Florida at Florida.
South Florida at Florida.
How much are they going to judge this South Florida win? This is actually a really hard one. I will go Florida. Florida minus 11.5. That could be a bad guess.
17.5.
Okay.
Florida's
okay.
I mean, they're the 15th ranked team in the country.
No, I know, but it's just like South Florida just beat a ranked team, So like.
A team that probably shouldn't have been ranked.
Right.
Preseason assumptions.
At the end of the day, they were a ranked team, yeah. Okay, I figured that'd probably be a bad guess.
What about Chapel Hill taking on...
Oh, Chapel Bill.
Chapel Bill taking on Charlotte.
Oh, the 49ers.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a good pull. Wow.
One of my buddies in my college football league is the Charlotte 49ers, so that's the only reason I know. This is good. I mean, they're still going to be major favorites. Charlotte, by the way, coached by Ohio's coach from last season. Just a little Mac nugget there. UNC's got to be 21-point favorites.
14.5.
That's so bad.
Really
for them,
disappointed
dude.
after.
That's so bad.
They,
for them.
I mean, they looked awful yesterday against
You're
an
playing
average.
Charlotte.
They looked so bad yesterday against a middling Big 12 team, like a team that's like supposed to be okay in the Big 12.
I think TCU will be solid this year.
Yes. Okay. Solid.
Yeah.
You got spanked by them.
Yeah. You really spanked bad.
Do you see the clip of their offense? Like 3 different guys on the offensive line on the same play all just got put on their butts by the defensive linemen. It's like, oh my God.
We got Chris in our YouTube chat. He's given us one that he wants me to guess. He's talking about Jack Campbell, but then he says, "Can I get a UNLV UCLA pick out of you guys?"
Sure. I guess I'll guess this one too. UCLA UNLV. Ugh.
Where's it at? I assume UCLA. I would just assume it has to be there.
Yeah.
And it could be in UNLV.
No, let's assume it's UCLA.
Okay,
UCLA got clapped by Utah, but
UNLV almost lost to Idaho State.
That's what I'm saying.
What did they do last week? Didn't UNLV lose last week as well?
I'm gonna say UCLA.
Okay, you guess this one
by 10.
Because I will.
UCLA by 10.
UNLV lost to, or they beat Sam Houston by 17. So
wow!
It's at UNLV, by the way.
Yeah, no, I was very wrong.
What is it?
UCLA 2.5.
Ooh.
Poor Nico.
It's at UNLV though, so I mean that kind of makes sense.
Alex
Orgy, shout out to him, man.
Right. Yes. Shout out to Alex Orgy. Not a lot of I almost sold my stock on college football yesterday.
It's just the sport as a whole.
Yeah, I would have bought it again next Monday, but look at the schedule's just bad.
The slate, yeah.
There's not a great slate of college football games.
No.
Michigan Oklahoma is the only ranked matchup, so
I think
other
Big
than
Noon
that,
Kickoff is because Big Noon Kickoff is obviously not where Michigan is this week because the game's at night. I think they are at Iowa State, Iowa, I believe.
Yeah,
that's where they are.
Go ahead and guess the spread on that one. Number 22, Iowa.
It's in Ames, correct?
Iowa State. Yep.
They got to be like at least 8.5 point favorites.
Oh, only 2.5.
Seriously, they're really liking Iowa that much, huh?
You can't score on them.
Huh.
Best defenses in the country.
Yeah, I'm kind of doing rough at these after a solid start.
Last one, Penn State, FIU.
Penn State,
in
FIU?
Beaverton, yep.
FIU, home of Pitbull Stadium.
That's great. No, you nailed it. Nice.
I mean, this has got to be another one that's just in the large amounts here. I'll go a 39.5er here.
41.
Yeah, that's close. That's a good one.
41.
I'll give myself that. Chris says Rebels win by at least a touchdown over UCLA as dogs. Really big UNLV fan down there. Okay.
All right, 989-837-6125. This will be more fun when there's a better slate.
Yeah. And I just
probably
like
should have done that going
more
into this week.
about the teams too.
Probably should have done this going into the week. Week 1. 989-837-6125. We'll hit the news when we come back. It's the Ben Bosscher Show on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It is the Scholar Athlete of the Month, proudly presented by Fisher Companies here on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This month's recipient is Addison Thormeyer from Farwell High School. With a 3.7 GPA, Addison is a member of the track and field and cross-country teams and played soccer for travel teams competing up in age with girls and playing with the boys.
Oh, I should go try out for the boys team. Like, why not? Because he was the coach for that team. So I was like, yeah, let's do it. Like, worst thing that happens is they don't make the team. So I go and try out, and he ends up calling me and saying, hey, I want you to come play for me. And it became a lot of fun, ended up being a totally different experience than playing with the girls and one I don't regret having.
This fall, Addison is now attending Saginaw Valley State University. She'll major in electrical engineering. To hear the full interview and nominate a local athlete for our scholarship program, visit 1009themitt.com.
Fueled by wonder and powered by science. At Dow, we're imagining better things for our customers and communities. It starts with our commitment to reach carbon neutrality by 2050, designing, building, and inspiring for the world around us. Because when we wonder, the things our world needs could be just one breakthrough away. That's Dow.
Tired of floors that snore? Walls that whisper, meh. Premier Tile in Midland is here to spice things up one tile at a time. They've got backsplash that'll make your pasta jealous.
What?
Shower walls that'll actually sing in the morning. And floors so fabulous, you'll consider eating dinner off them. Stylish, affordable, slightly obsessed with grout. Visit Premier Tile, located between Stark and Sturgeon, right off US 10, or at premiertilestone.com.
In every town, there's a team that brings us together. A team that stands for more than just the game. It's tradition. It's family. It's where we belong. Because this isn't just baseball. It's community. It's pride. It's home. This is the Great Lakes Loons, everyone's hometown team.
Every Wednesday on 100.9 The Mitt on the Ben Bosscher Show, you've got a chance to be a big winner.
That's what this is all about. It always has been about.
For the next 3 weeks, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet, we are going to be sending someone to the Michigan State Spartans games for their matchups against Western Michigan, Boston College, and Youngstown State. All you have to do is be listening to the show at 10:15 and listen for that keyword to text in. Big Win Wednesday on the Ben Bosscher Show, thanks to our friends at Garber Chevrolet. Hey, I'm Ben Bosscher.
And I'm Kyle Sandel.
And the two of us are live every weekday on 100.9 The Mitt at 9 a.m. until noon, giving you opinions on the teams that you care about the most.
The Lions, Tigers, Red Wings, Pistons, those teams.
And a whole lot more. Whether we're breaking down a game from the night before, debating the biggest news from the day, or doing a draft or spread picks, we're always having fun. I mean, come on, it's our job to talk about sports. How could we not be having fun?
So if the big games aren't enough for you, if you're a real diehard fan, this show is going to be perfect for you. You can count on us to be your morning sports outlet every day.
The Ben Bosscher Show with Ben Bosscher and Kyle Sandel on 100.9 The Mitt.
You want sports takes? You want local voices that own the mic?
Yeah.
We've got them on Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. It kicks off at 6 a.m. with Anthony Bellino on Spin on Sports.
Rise and shine.
From 9 to noon, don't miss Michigan's newest sports show, The Ben Bosscher Show.
Hey, remember that.
At noon, you get America's smartest sports takes, The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
I want Shador to play.
And at 3, the one and only Bill Simonson and The Huge Show. This is where real fans stay locked in. 100.9 The Mitt.
Timeout.
All right. Remember, we're a team that plays together. Listen, the winning will take care of itself. We just have to get everyone involved.
In interscholastic sports, we celebrate what makes every one of us unique. And in the pursuit of a common goal, everyone in the huddle, in the bleachers, and in the community comes together. This message presented by the MHSAA and the Michigan Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
(989-837-6125). Thanks to everyone who hit that subscribe button over the last half hour or so, or anyone who's just hit it in general. Keeps going up. Want to see it hit 400 by the end of the week. 15 more to go. That could be you, that next person. So appreciate it. With that being said, let's hit the news.
The Mitt's Morning Catch.
All right, let's get back into the news, Ben. Starting things off with a college football thing that we didn't touch on earlier. And I think this is a game that you forgot to bring up as far as guess the lines go. So it kind of works out. Because there's a little bit of beef going on with Mike Gundy and Dan Lanning over there with Oregon and Oklahoma State. Mike Gundy sending shots at Oregon ahead of their Week 2 matchup. While speaking on his radio show Monday, Gundy said Oklahoma State spent around $7 million on its team over the past 3 years before referring to how much the Oregon Ducks have spent in their recent years. He says, I think Oregon has spent close to $40 million just on their team this year alone. So that was just 1 year. Now, I might be off by a few million, but Oregon is paying a lot of money for their team. From a non-conference standpoint, their coaches should be playing teams with similar budgets. Basically saying, like, why are they playing us? They should be playing other teams that spend as much money as them. Dan Lanning responds by saying, we simply spend to win. And that was basically all he had to say.
That is Mike Gundy being such an enormous loser. If you want more money to spend, go coach somewhere else. Be good enough at Oklahoma State to get a better job. Like, honestly, that sounds like he's just jealous that
Oklahoma State's a good program.
They're a fine program. They had some success last season, but, like, if he has a chance to jump to a Big Ten or SEC school, he'd do it. This sounds like someone who's just a little bit bitter that he's at Oklahoma State and not at Oregon. Like, you're telling me he wouldn't just be Oregon's head coach tomorrow if they offered it to him? Like, yes, of course he is. In terms of, his actual idea, though, that's actually not an awful idea that you got to play teams based on how much you spend for non-conference. That's not a terrible idea. No. For him to express it that way is somewhat loser behavior. This is the first I'm hearing about this, though, so now I'll be tapped into that one.
Interesting stuff. Yeah, I do want to now see the line of that game because I would assume might as well finish out guessing the lines here. Any guess here? I got it pulled up.
Oregon 17.5.
28.5.
Yikes. Yeah.
Yikes.
Usually you don't want to be talking crap like that.
Yeah. When you're I mean, maybe that's why he's talking crap because he knows
nothing to
what's
lose.
Okay, Tigers, Mets, game 2 today, 6:40 p.m. Nate McLean versus Sawyer Gibson Long on the mound.
Yeah, I would really like them to just kind of give Sawyer Gibson Long a longer leash tonight. Usually when he's a starter, it's just as an opener, and then it's kind of a bullpen day. I'd like to just give him a chance. I mean, you're playing with a comfortable lead in the Central anyway. Obviously, you're playing a win still, but give him a chance. Let's see what he can do.
Yeah, I'm excited for it as well. Hopefully a bounce-back game for the Tigers today after dropping Game 1 last night. Quick standings update in the MLB means we have entered into September. Just about a month left of the regular season of baseball. Can't believe we're already there. Boy, what? We got like 20 games to go? Something like that? Maybe even less than that? Tigers at 80-59 obviously are the best team still in the American League. Blue Jays, Astros still lead their divisions pretty respectively as well. It sounds like the wild card race is basically locked up as far as the changing of who's leading the divisions. Yankees, Red Sox are in the American League wildcard race right now with the Mariners a game and a half up on the Rangers, who are red hot, man. The Rangers have won 6 straight out of nowhere, have won 9 out of their last 10, and now are threatening to pass your favorite team, the Mariners, to get into the playoffs.
Rangers, that's, honestly, man, a team I'd kind of like to see in the postseason.
Really? Despite the Tigers not having success against them earlier this year.
Yeah, the bats don't really scare me. That's the thing.
Really
I feel like those would be low-scoring games, and I feel like that would favor the Tigers.
Yeah. As far as in the National League goes, it would take some crazy stuff to go down for any of these 3 teams in the wild card to miss out. Cubs are locked in. Padres are pretty well locked in. The Mets, who are obviously playing the Tigers, have a 4-game lead on the Cincinnati Reds, and the Giants are right behind them at 5 games back. So we'll see what happens there. I did have to mention, too, the Royals are only 2.5 games back as well for making a wild card because Seattle has just been on a little bit of a down spell lately. So they're definitely still in it right now. The Royals are. We'll see what happens. More news. NFL injury news. We talked about Matt Stafford earlier. Let's move to some more offensive players. Wide receiver, 49ers, Juwan Jennings practices for the first time in 36 days yesterday, trying to get him healthy by week 1. Obviously, that 49ers wide receiver room has just been banged up all offseason. They had to sign a bunch of different guys, trade for Sky Moore. But Juwan Jennings looks like he could potentially be making a return here ahead of the week 1 matchup for San Francisco.
There you go. I'm still out on all the 49ers guys for fantasy purposes. Too many question marks.
Yeah, but they all go really late, so it's like, what's a 9th round pick on Juwan Jennings, you know?
Sure.
One of them's going to be good, right? Ricky Pearsall, one of them will be good. We'll see. And then Najee Harris, Chargers running back, is cleared for contact after his eye injury that obviously happened earlier this offseason. He's cleared to play and should be good to go for week 1. So good for Harris recovering from that obviously scary injury with the fireworks situation way back when.
How about just don't light off fireworks? If you're an NFL player, just like simple rule of thumb, no fireworks. Keep your distance from fireworks at least.
Right. I can't remember if we discussed this yesterday because I thought it came out right after the show, but maybe we did. I'm just going to toss it in here anyway. After Michigan tried to appeal the targeting call that happened week 1 with Jayshon Barham, they don't win it. Suspended first half against Oklahoma for targeting. Really tough, obviously, for the Wolverines to not have him for half of the game next week.
It's such a bad rule. It's not written properly. Like, there needs to be some sort of difference between a targeting like that happened in that game, which I guess I'm just frustrated that he's suspended for the second half. There's no reason for the first half of this Oklahoma game because he's one of Michigan's best defenders, and there was no bad intention behind that hit. I think there should be 2 levels of targeting. Like, one of like, oh my God, you purposely tried to kill him. You lunged with your head. Like, you have to get out of this game, and you are suspended for the next half of next game. Or like just basically flagrant 1, flagrant 2 in the NBA. There needs to be a targeting of get out of the game, like you're suspended, basically the one that happened, and a lesser one of, yeah, that was just basically an unnecessary roughness. Like, you're done for the rest of the game. No suspension for the following game, though.
Yeah.
I don't even think he should have been taken out of the game. There was no bad intention behind it.
Call. The whole, that is not the purpose of the rule. We've discussed this. That is not why it is in play. It is for anyone that is leading with intent, leading with the crown of the helmet, clearly trying to create head-to-head contact. He was obviously not trying to do that on that play. Definitely one of the worst targeting calls you've seen, but at the end of the day, that is the rule, you know? So it's like, how much can we even blame the officials for calling that?
It's just a poorly written rule.
Yes, that is how the rule is written. And unfortunate as it is, it's going to affect Michigan, not just for that game, but for next week as well.
And when Barham's like 3, 4, or 5 inches taller than the quarterback, and he's got to like hunch down to tackle him, there's going to be a little bit of helmet-to-helmet contact. That doesn't mean it's intentional. Like, it's not like he led with his head or put his head. It's just the way the hit ended up going. I don't know what you want him to do. Be standing straight up when you tackle the quarterback to where your chest hits his head, or you want him to like spear him. There's no good thing for Barham to do there.
And it's just, it sucks that it has to affect next week. You know, it just should just be
the rest of the game
after the first game. But yeah, that's how it is, unfortunately, and they're going to be without him for half the game versus Oklahoma.
Next man up.
Yep. All right, that's all I got for the news.
989-837-6125. Appreciate all our listeners, as always. Live on the YouTube as well. Big stuff on the way in that department. Summer's almost over, but your gardening needs are at an all-time high. Midland's go-to spot for all your gardening needs is Maple Hill Nursery. From vibrant flowers and shrubs to trees and seasonal plants, they've got your garden covered. Expert advice from local growers who care about your success as much as you do. Quality plants, quality soil, and all the tools you need to make your yard bloom. Stop by Maple Hill Nursery to get inspired and grow something beautiful this season. Find them right here in Midland, your garden's new best friends. The Ben Bosscher Show. We'll be right back with our two traditions to close out every show when we come back here on a Tuesday on 100.9 The Mitt.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
It's time to remember that. With Kyle Sandel.
Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau Agent, located downtown Midland. All right, the Lions play football in 5 days. We've been waiting for this 2025-2026 season to get started all summer long, and I want to take this time to remind the people that now is the perfect time to double down on the Lions to three-peat in the NFC North. All offseason long, the Lions have been the popular fade team across the NFL, people picking the Packers to win the division, the Lions to win 10 or less games, maybe even miss out on the playoffs. And obviously, after the Micah Parsons trade, Green Bay has continued to skyrocket as far as people expecting them to make the playoffs and win the division. Packers, favorites to win the division right now. Lions are second at plus 185. And I think this is just the perfect time to buy some more stock on the Lions this season. Once again, they are returning Aidan Hutchinson. We can talk all we want about Micah Parsons going to the Packers. Do I think Parsons is a better player than Hutchinson? Of course. But just like the Packers are adding Parsons, the Lions are adding Hutchinson. And when you look at the rest of the teams, as far as comparing offenses, comparing the rest of the defenses, the Lions own the Packers in nearly every other category. Am I a little nervous about the Packers to win the division this year? Sure, I think they're going to be a good team. But what I feel better about is the Lions winning this division for the third straight season. Remember that. Presented by Matt Larson, Farm Bureau Agent, located downtown Midland.
Is your business protected, connected, and running at full speed? At IronStack Technology, they provide rock-solid IT solutions, cybersecurity, and support tailored for small and mid-sized businesses. From managed services to cloud migration and 24/7 monitoring, they've got your back so you can focus on what matters most, growing your business. Visit IronStackTechnology.com today and build your IT on a foundation of strength. IronStack Technology, IT that works as hard as you do.
Hey Midland, join the Silver Sneakers and Renew Active programs at the Midland Community Center, where fitness for seniors is fun and free. With Silver Sneakers and Renew Active, seniors 65 and older enjoy access to Greater Midland Community Center, North Family Center, and Coleman Family Center, all at no extra cost with eligible Medicare Advantage plans. Dive into all group fitness classes, exclusive Silver Sneakers classes, and our Greater Midland Walking Club. Get moving with Silver Sneakers and Renew Active at the Midland Community Center.
At the Great Lakes Loons, our commitment to community goes beyond the ballpark. Through the Volunteer program, Loon staff and even players roll up their sleeves to serve the Great Lakes Bay region. From packing food boxes to reading in classrooms and even cleaning up local camps and parks, it's hands-on work that helps build a stronger, more connected community. Volunteer isn't just what we do, it's who we are. Because being part of this region means showing up when it counts. The Great Lakes Loons, serving the Great Lakes Bay region since 2007.
From the hometown heroes to the college legends to the pros on Sunday, 100.9 The Mitt is your home for wall-to-wall play-by-play coverage. High school football, basketball, and hockey.
Region champions for the first time in school history.
Michigan State football and basketball.
Touchdown, MSU!
The NFL, Thursday, Sunday, and Monday night primetime games. And don't think we forgot about your hometown team. The Great Lakes Loons.
That ball's over and out of here.
100.9 The Mitt.
I'm Ben Bosscher, and here's what I think. I think the Detroit Lions are going to be worse this season, but still go 12-5 and win the NFC North. I think the Minnesota Vikings are the biggest threat to steal the NFC North from the Detroit Lions. I think we got to taper back our expectations for Bryce Underwood, with him being an 18-year-old freshman and all. I think the lack of aggression from Scott Harris at the MLB trade deadline is going to haunt the Tigers for years to come. And I think you should listen to the Ben Bosscher Show weekdays from 9 to noon on 100.9 The Mitt, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair, if you agree or disagree with anything I just said.
Local sports don't stop when the game ends, and neither do we. 100.9 The Mitt is your digital home for the latest news across the state of Michigan. From high school to college and the pros, it's all on our socials. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. Just search 100.9 The Mitt and join the squad. Stay locked in on the latest stats and stories with exclusive video takes from local talent. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt. This is more than just a lineup. It's a daily ritual for the die-hard Michigan sports fans. At 6 a.m., Anthony Bellino wakes up the state with Spin on Sports.
I do not believe it.
At 9, the Ben Bosscher Show is appointment listening hosted here in the Great Lakes Bay region.
I would like to buy some Casey Mine stock.
America's Best takes over at noon. The Herd with Colin Cowherd.
Well, what about Patrick Mahomes?
And at 3, Bill Simonson brings it home on The Huge Show. Sports Radio 100.9 The Mitt for the most passionate fans in Michigan.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building Repair on 100.9 The Mitt.
All right, we've got two traditions how we like to close out every single show. The first of those is, unfortunately, our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Kyle, that was maybe my worst loss ever for lock of the day in terms of like the opposite thing actually happening.
Yeah, never stood a chance.
Well, I mean, they went up 7-0 in like 4 seconds.
Didn't matter.
So it stood a chance.
No, it never stood a chance.
For like
actually.
4 minutes.
And honestly, my best fade of all time, right?
Yeah.
It's got to be. I was quite confident in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chapel Bill, we're out on him.
Yeah. Just some bad stuff there. Going to be a bad year for the Tar Heels. People leaving early in that game too, just like ugh.
The amount of legends that were there, and then for that performance to happen, like Michael Jordan, Lawrence Taylor,
2 defensive touchdowns happening, like just man, it was just brutal stuff there. Okay, well let's give the people an update because Ben, for the first time ever, you have now officially eclipsed the 20 units down all time. New all-time record. Won't give any applause for that, but it is a record.
Why on earth would we give applause for that?
Because you've broken a record. Just not in a great way.
Yeah, no.
20.84 units down all time. 1942-1 record. You're down 1 unit on the week and down 1 unit in the month of September. So
you know what? We're 0-0 on NFL bets. The NFL's going to say this
That's
here.
true. I was just double checking that you didn't do any preseason. No, you did preseason.
Oh, we didn't hit that, did we?
You did hit a Patriots minus 6.5 versus Commanders, but
we're
you
1-0.
No,
Oh.
you're 1-1. Missed the Anthony Richardson first drive rushing touchdown.
That was a good one.
Right, yeah. That was
Okay,
really
well,
good.
here we're 0-0 in the regular season, and once Thursday Night Football's here, we're going to have plenty of options to pick up some wins.
Just got to focus on going up in September.
Okay. Well, we're taking a big bite of the apple today then. All right. Yesterday we watched Naomi Osaka kind of starting to bounce back here with, she had a child a couple of years ago, maybe a year, I don't know how many years ago. So she had to take a little break from tennis. Well, when she walked away, she was the best tennis player in the world. And then Coco Gauff kind of came in and took that spot. Well, she took down Coco Gauff yesterday in 2 sets. Didn't even take like more than an hour and a half. She takes down the number 3 ranked tennis player in the world. She's all the way sitting back at 23 coming into this tournament. Well, clearly she needs to be higher if she's dominating as much as she has. She's in the quarterfinals right now. She needs 3 more wins to pick up a win. You can get her right now at plus 500 to win the U.S. Open. 2 people in front of her in odds, obviously still alive. They're the last 2 winners of the U.S. Open, so a little bit recency bias. But come on. 3-4 years ago, this was the best tennis player in the world. Has already won the U.S. Open twice. She knows what it takes to do it. I'm taking Naomi Osaka to end up back on top in the tennis game. Plus 500 to win the U.S. Open on the women's side of things. 8 players left.
Going all out here.
Maybe I do this today, tomorrow, Friday. And then we make it all, because if she wins, we make it all back.
This is the longest future-based lock of the day because we won't know until Saturday night when this will hit. 4 p.m. on Saturday is the championship on the women's side. But we also could find out like on
tomorrow,
Thursday, when they play again. So.
Well, we could find out it doesn't hit tomorrow.
No, actually tomorrow. Yes, we could find out tomorrow as well if she just loses. So
do
we'll see.
Do we really need a whole day off between matches? You know what I'm saying? Like you need if you play on Tuesday, you can't play again on Wednesday.
Oh, I get what you're saying. I don't know. Well, that's how the quarterfinals and semifinals are set up. Quarterfinals tomorrow, semifinal Thursday.
Or I wonder if the only reason they
It's like a
stagger
back-to-back
is like
days.
men's, women.
There's also a ton of people playing, so they just need to find the time for everyone.
There's only 8 women left.
Well, there's still not all 8 have even been decided yet. There's matches going on today to get the other people in the quarterfinals.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So, yeah, we'll see. Still the number 1 and 2 seed in.
Yeah, the last 2 winners.
Osaka, one of the lower ranked people left in this, obviously.
But clearly underranked.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I would agree.
This is her vengeance.
Rooting for, definitely. This would help you out a ton, too, at plus 500, but we won't find out for a while here.
Taylor fade?
I'm not going to Taylor fade on something like this, you know? It's a long-term bet.
It's not.
It's
It's
plus
not.
500.
Is it really a future if it's like going to be decided within the week?
No, I mean, but this just isn't a Taylor. This isn't a classic Taylor fade. So I'll just stick out of it here.
Okay. All right. Sounds like the wimpy way of doing it. but,
Sure.
no big deal. All right. Let's. Well, that is our lock of the day.
Lock of the day.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right. The other thing we do to close out each show, predict what the one and only Colin Cowherd's going to open with, because up here on 100.9 The Mitt, he takes over the airwaves at noon. Odds of him doing a show today, basically even.
Oops. Why was he not doing his show yesterday?
So last week he can take off.
I
and
mean,
it was Labor Day.
it's
Colin Cowherd's not working on Labor Day.
Oh, true. That's right. Yeah, he's got to be back today, though. He has to be back today.
I actually
week one
think
of
he's
college
done less
football
shows
than
since
he
our
has
show
done?
has launched.
Yeah.
Yes.
I
I
would
think
agree.
there's been more guests. But hey, he's Colin Cowherd. You know? I hope I'm in the position one day to where actually no, not anytime close. I like doing this too much.
An update, though. 13-10 is still the score. Neither of us hit yesterday, surprisingly. Both had some pretty good guesses. I for sure thought it was going to be actually, the Arch Manning stuff. Wasn't that. And I forget what you picked. You picked
I don't know.
Oh, sorry.
Something college football.
It ended up being a grand scheme
I picked
college
Bill.
football.
I picked Bill.
Oh, yeah. It ended up being a grand scheme college football playoff discussion about how the big matchups, luckily they don't matter as much because there's 12 teams in the playoff, and I don't even know who was filling in for him.
Ooh, original take. It's my turn to go first, right?
Yeah.
I'm going with Chapel Bill.
Yeah. It's
Absolute disaster from yesterday. He's going to be like, he needs to retire. He needs to hang it up. This is not the Bill Belichick we know. Chapel Bill just being the really the worst performance we saw this entire weekend.
It's insanely obvious that that's the pick. Here's where I'll go, though.
Well, we thought Arch Manning was the obvious pick yesterday,
Right.
and it wasn't that.
But that was the only thing that happened yesterday, so that's why it would be the obvious pick. Here's what I will go with, though. You picked the Alabama thing. Or no, you did pick Bill yesterday.
No, I just floated that idea around.
I think that if Colin is back today, obviously he didn't have the opportunity to talk about Arch Manning yesterday. So he does it today. But this really only plays if he is back today.
I'm sure he will be.
If it's not him and he has a fill-in again, then it's probably not going to be this. But I will double down and go Arch Manning stuff again just because he didn't get a chance to talk about it yesterday. He'll talk about Bill Belichick at some point, but I think if he's there, he still leads with Arch Manning Texas stuff.
Is this the first time we've ever just both taken the same thing the next day?
Oh, back-to-back days? Yeah, I didn't even think about that. Even when we had alternating first picks. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Interesting.
We both felt confident about our picks, you know?
Yeah.
We weren't wrong. We were just early.
Right.
That's what some
are
saying.
saying that, yeah.
Not me, but some. Well, actually, I did just say that. Okay. That's going to do it for us today. Hey, 2 more days, man. We just got to wait 2 more days until the NFL is back into our lives. We've got the Cowboys. We've got the Eagles. I'm already getting those bets ready to go. Look, I felt really good about taking Saquon Barkley props in that game because, Dallas has notoriously had a bad run defense, and, that's why Jerry Jones traded away Micah Parsons. Now they have Kenny Clark, so they've stopped the run. So now I don't know what to do, Now they've stopped. Jerry Jones made this trade so they could stop the run.
Strictly for week 1, they made that trade.
Yeah, so now I don't really feel comfortable at all taking Saquon Barkley props because they've figured out how to stop the run with this trade.
We're going to find out if they figured it out. It's a good team to figure it out against.
Kyle, full part of our NFL spread picks this week. John Vicari already established he's calling in from Lake County to do it. I think what we want to do is we both pick 6 games each week. You have to pick the Lions, and then you have to pick 5 other ones, and we'll see by the end of the year who had the better record. And you know what?
What do I know?
I actually had a fantastic year last year with that. All these lock of the days. This is why I keep saying, the lock of the day is going to make a big bounce back once we're back in the NFL season. Well, the reason that I think that is because by the time we got to the conference championships last week, your boy was hitting 58% of his bets. I hit 58% of the NFL spread picks last week.
Take that.
56 and 41. I felt pretty good, I felt pretty good.
How did John do?
John did really good too, 54%. It's not quite as high as 58%.
Better than half, though.
It's better than half. So yeah, that's why we've been putting all our eggs in the basket for NFL spread picks. So those are back on Thursday, obviously a tradition here on 100.9 The Mitt. Other traditions include doing a show on Wednesday, and we call it Big Win Wednesday, which means we're giving something away tomorrow. It's Michigan State versus Boston College. Tickets should be a fun night game at Spartan Stadium on Saturday. So thanks to our friends over at Garber Chevrolet, we are going to be sending some people to that game in East Lansing. Should be a good one. Michigan State's got revenge on their minds based on how last year's game went. Need to see a clean game from Aidan Chiles. He had the late turnover, taking the sack and the fumble in that game last week against Western Michigan. Needs to play a clean game to beat Boston College Saturday. That's it for today. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow at 9 a.m. That was the Ben Bosscher Show with Kyle Sandel. Ben Bosscher. Hope it was worth it. See you guys.
The Ben Bosscher Show, built by Bresky Siding and Building